it's over. Do you need anything like I need you? I've got no place to be. something good out of this. You could be late, you could be true. You could be underneath my shoe. Sometimes you're the only one who's strong. Then I'll be devastated if I'm wrong. I am the one you love to hate, but you cannot devastate. It will be interesting, I'm sure, 'cause I want more. Can I make something good out of this? Can I pretend that something is missing? Chances are you will not be missed, 'cause you don't give a shit. Can I make something good out of this? You will be late, you could be true. You could be underneath my shoe. Sometimes you're the only one who's strong. And I'll be devastated if I'm wrong. I am the one you love to hate, but you cannot devastate. It will be interesting, I'm sure, but I want more. You could be late, you could be true. You could be underneath my shoe. Times you're the only one who's strong. And I'll be devastated if I'm wrong. I am the one you love to hate, but you cannot devastate. It will be interesting, I'm sure, 'cause I want more. I want more from you, yeah, more. I want more, I want more. I want more from you, yeah, more. I want more, I want more. I want more from you, yeah, more. I want more, I want more. I want more from you, yeah, more. More from you, yeah, more.
I want more. I want more from you, yeah, more. I want more. I want more. I want more. 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 Let's go, 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 go. Oh, May Money, what's up? And hanging around these independent channels and started one myself. We need more collabs and open forums. We must use these platforms in a productive and creative way. Yes, let's go, baby. Oh, Seattle Jen, thank you for the membership. Let's go. Bye-bye, Trumpy. Hey, I just want to change the world. I just want the perfect girl.
I don't wanna
Hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder. My pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. Gig attacks, let's go, baby. You know the drill. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand, because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. Green Ghost, let's go.
I just wanna change the
Just
world.
watched your doc this afternoon. I always knew I liked you, but knowing that part of your story helps me respect you even more than I already did. Let's go.
It gets better.
I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. What, Doc? He's talking about a movie that got made about me like 20 years ago. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand, because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. You're radiant. Let's go. I can't pretend. No. I hope this never ends. It's about you.
I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said.
My heart's unbreaking.
You're radiant
Truth. I know that you will understand, because I finally found myself.
My heart's unbreaking.
You're radiant. You're radiant. Hi. Oh. Oops. I cut it off. Dude, Iron Fist, let's go. All right. So to answer the questions about the documentary, like 20 years ago, basically 20 years ago, some people made a movie about me. You can watch the beginning of yesterday's show to find out all the details about it. It is currently up on the producer of it, who died of cancer, left it up on his Vimeo page. You can go to my film site, TommyHarrington.net. That was the website I used when I was a filmmaker. And if you go there, you will find there's a link to it. All right. It's just pretty crazy. There's a crazy time period. I was booking this insane tour as a one-man indie rock band after I quit the band that we just heard, right? Number 3 Breakdown was like a really popular band here in Portland, and we were making an album with Larry Crane, and I pulled the plug on that project. I quit like a really popular band that had management. I'd spent $7,000 on the record. I just threw the record away, and I made a solo record, and then I started touring, and some people decided to make a documentary about me when I was touring. And then, during it, I broke up with a girl. We found out she was pregnant, and it started the path to me being a father. And then they filmed me over the course of several years, and then they took like 5 years, edited this documentary that came out in like 2011, I think. And so yeah, it was a wild journey of me, like, you know, quitting a very popular band, starting a solo project that was going to lead me on this amazing journey, having a kid, going back to doing drugs, and then getting sober again. And it was all documented. It was pretty wild, right? It's pretty fucking crazy journey. Crazy journey, right? Let me just say, dude, a lot to be proud of. Dude, I do, man. Dude, I've led a pretty amazing life, boss. All right, let me just tell you, right? I've had the pleasure to live an extraordinarily interesting life. Dude, I have, man. I don't know, dude. I feel like I've done it all, boss. You know, somebody said, I saw a comment up there where somebody said, I can't believe you stopped putting out music. You know what's funny, man, is it's like, it's interesting that you say that, because music was a huge part of my life, dude. But you know what it was, Green Ghost? Can I just tell you what it was is like I completed that part. You know, like, you know how, you know, I think music had defined me kind of, right? It had become so much my personality that nobody could see me outside of that. Like, I was just this sort of like independent indie rock star like figure. And I just felt like I was done with that. And it was time for me to be something else, you know? And I didn't know what the else was, but I knew that it wasn't that I don't know. I felt like after I made the record that's on, I mean, you have to sort of follow the music with it, because the record I made at the end was called "Failure Looks So Good." You can find a link to it down in the description, right? And so after I made "Failure Looks So Good," this just crazy good record that we made right to 2-inch tape, I felt like I had completed everything. I had toured, I made a solo record, I made the band record I always wanted to make, I had fucking gotten sober again. You know what I'm saying? And then I had a kid, and I had this epiphany on tour where we were in like Spokane, Washington, and there were just a bunch of like college girls in Ugg boots at the show, just like wanting to hang out with us afterwards. And you know what it was in that moment, I sort of had a mental breakdown in the van afterwards with the band, where I was like, guys, I don't want to be doing this anymore. Like, you don't understand. We're on tour and there's an endless line of college girls in Ugg boots. And as much as I love them, if I wasn't here this weekend, like, there would be some other rock star that they were hair twirling to. And I have a fucking kid that like really notices my absence, you know? And I was like, dude, I've had so many nights with college girls in Ugg boots, you know? Up to that point, we're talking like hundreds upon hundreds of nights with the college girls in Ugg boots. And, you know, at that moment, I had a kid who was 3 years old. And I was like, you know, I'm ready to like put myself into the new creative project of the kid, you know? And I did, knowing that like there was some other creativity waiting for me, right? And I'll be honest, guys, you ready? You ready? Here's a fucking newsflash for you, okay? As good as I was in playing music, as good as I was, and I was good, guys. I was a good songwriter too. I recorded some albums and shit, right, that I'm really fucking proud of. But you know what, guys? I didn't really enjoy a lot of the songwriting process. I didn't. I didn't like, you know how I sit here every day, 16 hours a day, just grinding my political punk videos? I didn't like that part of the music shit. I struggled writing songs. I fought to write songs. I grappled with it. I mean, I was kind of a different person. I was a lot younger then. I hadn't gotten healed. So my relationship with music was a lot more of a struggle and frustration than my creative endeavors that came many years later. Isn't that weird? Yeah, it's weird. So I had felt like I did everything I wanted to do and it was time to move on. And then I had my kid, and then I got into acting and I went to film school, and then I discovered a whole bunch of other shit. And then I became, a famous Fortnite streamer. And then eventually here we are. I've merged like my editing and YouTube that I got from Fortnite streaming with political shit, which is like has been my heart since I was a little kid. And so I somehow found something that I can do 16 hours a day that I just fucking adore, right? But the live performance was what I really dug. And now we have that still here. I'm still a live performer, right? Because the live performing has always been my thing. Like the music was just a method. I mean, I did love music and shit, but I don't know. I didn't live heart and soul. And some of this I realized when I watched my son's relationship with music, right? Because my son started playing guitar and he, is kind of a music nerd. He collects all kinds of records. He'll buy any record and listen to the whole thing. He learns other band songs. He just loves playing guitar. Like he's got this spirit of music. And I was like, dude, I never had that. Like for me, I loved being the front man on stage, and I loved, the Ugg boots afterwards. And then I did what I needed to do to stay on stage, which meant I had to keep writing better and better albums. But I didn't love writing the albums. It was really hard. It was like hard work, grueling work that I always felt was like never really good enough, You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. It was just because what's crazy about it is I quit and I never looked back. And I don't have any regrets though, because the music I made was amazing. And then occasionally I'll see a band, right? Like I remember, I saw I heard Cage the Elephant, right? And when I first heard Cage the Elephant, they made me want to fucking, play music again, right? Sometimes I'll hear a band where I just hear a band and I'm like, oh shit, dude, that kind of makes me want to write songs again because they're so good. But yeah, man, I mean, sometimes you just move on, dude. There's chapters, You know what I mean? We don't always love what we're great at. It's true. I kind of feel, I kind of feel like, yeah, you just got to follow your heart, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the performer shit is like in my veins. And that's kind of always been there. I've shared this story with you guys before, but one of my core memories was when we lived in Wisconsin, and I was like a super shy kid always. I was always like shy, and up to that point I had been. And, we came to California on vacation, and we eventually moved here after that vacation. That's how we got to California. We visited some aunts and uncles that lived in North Hollywood for a week. And then my dad immediately after that vacation went home and sold his house and moved his family, moved all of us to to California, to Los Angeles. And we went to Universal Studios, and they had these big shows, right? Where they'd have like a show and they pick people out of the audience. And I mean, after we moved, we went to Universal Studios every time family came. And when I was in 3rd grade, some family came to visit us and they picked me out of the audience to do this Blues Brothers thing, right? When I was a 3rd grader. And I was like this shy, nervous kid, you know what I mean? But they picked me and they put me in this Blues Brothers suit that was like so big that the sleeves and shit went longer than my legs. And I was running around there with these people and we were throwing pies at everybody. And I took a pie in the face and like the audience like loved me so much. And so that was when I was like, huh, that's weird. Why am I like the shy kid, but like up there in front of like 300 people, I didn't feel shy at all. It was a little baffling, right? Because I was, you know, painfully shy as a kid. But once I got on that stage and I walked out there with all those people in the crowd, like I was not shy at all, dude. I was fucking hamming it up. And so that was sort of like one of my early memories. And then the thing though that like broke my heart is my parents wouldn't buy the videotape. Like you could buy a videotape and it was like $20 or something, which was a fairly like decent amount of money, you know, in fucking 1978 or whatever. But they wouldn't buy it. And I'm like, are you shitting me? Like, I was literally the star of that show. This is like the biggest thing that's ever happened to me in my young life. Dude, and they wouldn't fucking buy it. I mean, that's kind of how my parents were. So I sort of like nursed that resentment, and then they wouldn't buy me musical instruments and shit. And then I eventually got even because I went to UCLA as an engineering major and I quit UCLA. I quit to fucking play music. Right? So, I mean, in the end, I did get them. I was like, all right, you wouldn't buy me a videotape. You wouldn't get me an instrument. Guess what? You're not getting a UCLA engineering grad. Fuck you, mom and dad. I'm going to go play some rock and roll. Oh, shit. So in the end, I did get them back, right? They got denied as well, you know? Because, man, they had their hopes set on me, boss. I was like the family. I was like the one. I had a lot of pressure on me. I was supposed to be the one that was going to go get like the advanced degrees, you know what I'm saying? Quit music school to play music. No, I didn't. I wasn't in music school, right? I went to UCLA engineering school, right? Dude, let's go. Oh shit. Sometimes you got to get even. You're from Oakland. Definitely have a vibe you can get down with. Let's go, man. Well, you know what's funny, May Money, is you may recognize my love of Oakland. Because, dude, I started being an Oakland Raiders fan in like the 70s, right? In 76. And so I was an Oakland Raiders fan my whole life, even though I lived in Wisconsin. Then we moved to LA. Then the Raiders came to LA. And then I got to go see Raider games. And then later on, in Oakland, after I lived in Portland, I became a season ticket holder, and then they moved to Vegas, and I'm still a season ticket holder. But dude, I've been a Raiders fan like my entire life. Isn't that crazy? Dude, let's go. Let's go, baby. My Vegas Raider fan. I mean, I'm still a Raider fan. You know, I'm still a Raider fan, man. I'm always going to be a Raider fan. It's hard to be a Raiders fan now. You know, you do not call videotapes in 78. Dude, yeah. Well, maybe it was 80. It was somewhere around there. Dude, let's see. VHS tapes come out. Let's find out. VHS tapes came out in 1977. So there you go. So it was 78. Touche. But yeah. Sorry, boss. No, it was Sony's JVC. So I guess it was a Betamax, right? No, the VHS was introduced in 77, right? Yeah, it was a videotape, though, definitely. Right? It was a video cassette tape. Dude, it was 78 or 79. Let's go. Nobody had one? I mean, dude, it doesn't matter if you have one. I feel like I had an uncle that had one. I'm pretty sure my uncle that had On TV had one, right? On TV, although that came out in like 80, but I think my uncle had one. But it doesn't matter, dude. You get the tape. You still get the record. You know what I mean? And this is for all of you guys. Just like plain and simple. You ready? You ready for this? My thing is this, is if your kids do something that is like extraordinary like that, when they're in fucking, you know, whatever, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, if your kid, any grade, has some extraordinary moment that is like, you know, you look at them and you see them beaming where you know they just had a life-changing experience and they want you to document it in some way, like make it happen. I don't care if you have to fucking break out a credit card and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of shit should be fucking revered, you know? Because even if only the rich had a VCR, I mean, I know we didn't have a VCR at the time, but like you knew you were going to have them eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It's like you knew it wasn't going to be like all technology came out that way. I mean, we didn't have a color TV at first, but then eventually you get a color TV. But dude, because, you know, and so, I mean, I guess maybe realistically, that's probably why my parents didn't buy it, because we didn't have a VCR. But still, I didn't look at that as a legitimate excuse, right? Like, you know, for example, let me just give you an example from my son, okay? The way I parented is if my kid had gone on stage like that and said, man, I want to fucking, you know, I want the tape. You know what I would have done is I would have bought him the tape and then I would have gotten him a goddamn VCR to play it so he could relive that memory. You know what I mean? Or, you know what I'm saying? That's what I would have done. But my parents were not like that. My parents would, you know, were going to spend their money on, you know, going out and getting drunk and fucking, you know, and, you know, moving cross country every 3 years or every 2 years, and then ending up like 30 grand in debt from moving vans, right? That was their thing, dude, to like never go to therapy. So their relationship was fucking terrible. So they'd move and it would be great for 2 months and then it would disintegrate. And then a year later we'd move and then it would disintegrate and then they'd move across country and it would disintegrate and then they move back across country. How do I donate? Dude, you can donate with fucking, there's Cash App on the screen. Let's go. Right? Or you can do it with the whatever, the super chats and shit, but Cash App is good. VHS came out in 77 here in America. Yeah. Let's go. The Geographic Cure. Yeah, no, they tried the Geographic. But dude, I don't know. It's weird how I nurse that fucking memory. But although I kind of am glad, though, that the person in chat brought that up, because now that I think about it, now that I reflect on it, I bet that's why my parents didn't buy it, because they didn't even have a VCR, you know, which I guess makes sense, right? If, you know, with their limited, no high school education way of thinking of like, we don't even have the thing to play this. Why would we spend $20 on it? But like, I guess I always figured you would get the thing to play it, you know, but they lived in my parents lived a much less thoughtful life than I did. All right. My parents were not very thoughtful people. They weren't. They like struggled to keep their shit together, boss. It was, you know what it was? They just struggled to keep their shit together. They battled alcoholism, and, you know, my mom had 6 kids, and she was a single mom to 6 kids after like surviving an abusive husband. And then she met my dad and had a 7th kid who was also an abusive husband. So they were just like overloaded and fucking, you know, a lot of alcoholism and child abuse and, you know, physical domestic violence. So it was like, they had a lot on their plate, bro. Right? Like taking care of us well was not on their agenda. You know? You know what I mean? Dude, taking care of us well was never, right? You donate? All right, let's go, baby. Thank you. Appreciate you. Dude, you like beta? Dude, I like the laser disc, boss. We need to bring back laser disc. Right? Laser disc. All right. So tonight, guys, tonight we're sort of having a theme night. Okay? Tonight's going to be kind of a shortish stream. I know I say that, and I never fucking get there, right? Eating off your plate? All right. Let's fucking check it out. Let's check out the plate, boss. Excuse me. Yeah. All right. Let's go. Dude, yeah, Laserdisc. Yeah, bring them back. But anyway, so what I was going to say is I fucking don't, I can't go super long tonight because I'm going to the beach tomorrow. There's going to be no stream tomorrow, no stream Tuesday, no stream Wednesday. Okay. There's only, I'll be back on Thanksgiving. We are going to the beach. I may do a stream from the beach. We'll see. I'm still going to make some videos, but so tonight we're just going to have something like quick and light. And it's going to be about these Karens, dude, because we have a brigade of Karens, bro. Like, what are we doing? Dude, the Karening is going crazy. And you know what's wild, right? What's wild about it, guys, is how it's like Karening is like a red pill feature. You know what I mean? Like, what is with the red pill Karening? You know what I mean? This shit is like so bizarre. Okay? Dude, yeah, 𝗙𝗪𝗏 blocked me, guys. And guys, I'll be honest, I don't know when. Okay? Like, I saw this. I saw 𝗙𝗪𝗏 commenting to someone, and I tried to leave a comment, and I was like, dude, when did I get blocked? Right? And then I went and I looked at her page, and I was like, dude, she blocked me. But what's crazy though, guys, is I had not replied to anything of hers since like the first week of October. Okay? I haven't interacted with her on Twitter in almost 2 months. However, I'm fairly certain she saw the merchant, right? The happy merchant videos. She saw some videos, guys. Okay? She saw some videos, bro. I know that's what it is. Okay? I know she saw some vids. She's a Tucker sucker. Dude, Anna, if you're on a burner account, let me just know that I realize you and Nick Fuentes are probably going to be very happy together one day soon. Right? Oh, shit. Dude. You know, which is crazy. Oh, Anna, we love you. Now, you thought we were honest before. Oh, shit. Dude, Anna K and 𝗙𝗪𝗏. I don't think 𝗙𝗪𝗏's blocked me, right? I don't think 𝗙𝗪𝗏, nah, she hasn't blocked me. Yeah, no, we good. Me and Tara are good. But Anna don't like me, okay? Dude, Anna, though, I have made some videos, though, that got, like, a lot of my Anna videos got a lot of play, guys, okay? You know what I'm saying? Dude, she definitely saw the videos, okay? She saw the videos. Now, this is pretty wild, okay? This is pretty wild because what's funny about it is how, like, right? What's funny about it, guys, is like she's like hanging out with Tucker Carlson, but she's blocking me. Like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of progressive does that? What kind of a progressive hangs out with Tucker Carlson? Look at his face, dude. He looks like he is just shitting, right? I know she's not a progressive, Tony. Thank you. That's pretty obvious. But, dude, she's supposedly a leftist, and she blocks me, but she loves Tucker. And this goes to what I was saying the other night, guys, where I feel, and I think I'm pretty goddamn accurate in this, that 𝗙𝗪𝗏 is on the Nancy Mace. She's on the Nancy Mace ticket, boss. She is. She is the left-wing Nancy Mace, where she went in and she was like a voice of reason and sanity and conviction that you thought like, wow, this person's going to actually have an impact on politics in her realm. And then slowly but surely, she became more and more unglued. Like she had personal shit happen that then she became like unhinged. The minute she had a personal experience, she got unhinged by what happened to her. And then she's gone on her vengeance trail. And then somebody said something wrong to her. And she's like, you're trying to silence me. You'll never silence me. You're so unreasonable. Don't tell me what to say. And then she just became a freakazoid that everybody hates. Like her party and the other party, both of them kind of hate her. But she'll sell herself to any show that will have her. And just to get the 𝗙𝗪𝗏, I know everything and I'm the solution out there, right? And yeah, never happy, never fucking happy, never a smile. Everything is delivered with a bitterness and a spite. I'm telling you, dude, she took the Nancy Mace crash. It's the Nancy Mace crash, boss. That's what it is. From like impassioned, regular fucking believer in their ideology to like, you've wounded me and now I'm going to burn the whole thing to the ground because I'm the only person that is doing the work. Dude, it is, finger remains pointed, yes, at all times, dude. Dude, oh shit. Dude, and probably hasn't gotten any dick in like fucking 10 months, bro. That's another... Sorry, dude, right? That's it too, dude. No dick. Dude. Oh shit. Sorry. I had to go there. Oh, dude. Dude, she is fucking wild, bro. But Anna, I got to tell you, I still love you, Anna. I know you no longer love me, Anna. I know you just broke up with me on Twitter, the Twitter breakup, but I still love you, Anna. I'm still going to make plenty of videos. And now I'm just going to screenshot your shit and tweet it without your interaction. But you'll probably find that too, because now that you don't like me, you're going to stalk me every now and again. I mean, I know how it goes. All right. I know how it goes. Dude, I'm heartbroken. And you know why I'm really heartbroken is because I realize Nick Fuentes is going to make a move now. Did you see the Nick Fuentes clip? Hold on, guys. You got to see this. This Nick Fuentes clip is crazy. Hold on. I thought I saved it. Watch this. Dude, this shit is wild, bro. You ready? This one. All right, you ready? Watch this, dude. All right, here's Nick Fuentes. He's moving in, dude. I'm out. Dude, Political Punk is out. Nick Fuentes, he's gonna weasel his way in there. Okay? He is. Dude, now that Anna's blocked me and our relationship, our budding relationship has no chance at taking off, she's hanging out with Tucker Carlson. And Tucker is just the gateway drug to Nick Fuentes. And now watch this bit, dude. This is crazy.
But yeah, I'm with you, man. Bring back the Indians.
AC
Totally.
sent $50. Please, Nick, I need this. My mom is kind of homeless.
Why? Okay, why are you giving me money though?
Nick X Candace Roy % $20. Has there been any reach out to her from 𝗙𝗏𝗡𝗍𝗏 for an interview?
No.
And if it does happen, will this make Candace jealous?
Oh, absolutely. Candace is already beside herself with jealousy, but she knows at the end of the day, I'm always going to come back to her. She knows at the end of the day, I'm always going to need a little milk chocolate. But Anna Kasparian, I would do a show with her. Yeah, but no invite.
Dude,
what's up with that?
This
Come
guy's
on,
so
Anna.
dirty.
Come on, man. I want to do her show. I want to talk to The View. What's her show? She's got like 4 girls on there or something. I want to do her show, but she won't. She doesn't even know I exist. She probably fucking hates me. She thinks I'm a total incel, a complete dork, made a fool of myself. All I want is to go on Anna Kasparian's show. She probably doesn't even know I fucking exist. I'm a loser.
You are a
She
loser.
would never want to go to the dance with me. She wants to go with Cenk. She wants to go because Cenk is a big, fat guy. Well, you know what? One of these days, she's going to be mine. You watch. One of these days, I'm going to prove everybody wrong. I'm going to be the popular kid. I'm going to make the whole school love me. No, but Anna Kasparian, yeah, what's up with that?
Dude.
Bring me on your show.
CXR.
I like your show. It's going to be tough, though. I don't know if she...
Just for young men, just so you know, to the young men out there, guys, you got to be careful if you ever listen to this shit, because this is what happens when you become so offensive that you can only pay for sex or hang out with AI chatbots. You know, you don't want to go down the red pill road, dude. It is like a sad sack fucking, you know, what a fucking clown, bro. Jesus, dude.
She might make me finally crack up. I mean, I could barely handle 𝗙صe. I could barely handle 𝗙صe and Anna combined. Anna Kasparian, if she does one of her impressions, I just might lose it.
CXR.
Dude, so there we go. He's gunning for it. Yeah, no, I saw somebody. I'm pretty sure this guy is, you know, more Benny Johnson than Anna Kasparian, right? I mean, if I'm looking at Fuentes and being honest, I think he's going to be giving Benny Johnson a ring before he's going to be giving Anna Kasparian a ring, okay? Like 100%. You know what I'm saying? 100%, boss, okay? Dude, that shit is fucking crazy. So, yeah, but here's the deal, guys. You ready? This is what is so alarming about this, okay? What's alarming about this is Anna blocks me, okay? Anna hangs out. She's in love with Tucker now. Anna loves Tucker Carlson. If Tucker runs for president, Anna Kasparian is going to vote for Tucker Carlson, which means Nick Fuentes is right down the hall, okay? There is no way you go through Tucker Carlson and you don't end up opening the door for Nick Fuentes too. There's no way, okay? Tucker's the gateway drug. It's the same way that Charlie Kirk was a gateway drug for the Nick Fuentes and the Proud Boys. That's all he was. He was a gateway drug who used scripture, and they use rationality, and they use what they call common sense. And the next thing you know, you wake up and you're surrounded by fucking groypers, and you're like, holy shit, my girlfriend's an AI chatbot. What the fuck happened? Right? You got an Andrew Tate poster on the wall, and like no normal like female with an education will be caught within 100 feet of you. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And so the thing about this is like she's going to end up on Fuentes' team, boss. She is. She's on the way, dude. We're seeing the red pill. It is disturbing. And why? Why? Because she got, you know, attacked by a homeless person, and the people in her party said, hey, you know what? We understand you got traumatized by this attack, but like, let's not demonize the entire population because of your attack, right? Please get some therapy. Please, like, don't, right? She got resentment pilled, guys. That's what it is. It's the resentment pill. But look at her and Tucker. You ready? Okay. 𝗙𝗙𝗃𝗧𝗏. Dude, she was really progressive, guys. She was really progressive. She used to yell at people about the Bible, right? Remember, she would yell at people like, don't force your religion on me. I don't give a fuck about your Bible. And she would go to town on them. And she was like, defund the police. And she was like, we need to revolutionize the system. Now she's going on the show of the guy who said he got attacked by a demon in bed. He got mauled by fucking Baphomet while he was sleeping with his dogs. Okay, she's hanging out with this guy, and look at what she says.
The other thing is, even if you're doing well, even if you're affluent, do you really want to live in a country where as soon as you walk outside your door, there's a massive homeless encampment?
Oh, I agree.
You know, do you really want to live in a country like that? Because I don't. Do you want to live in a country where close to 100,000 of your fellow Americans are dying of drug overdoses and our government seems to not really care much and in fact exploits that as a talking point to justify a potential war with Venezuela, which has nothing to do with fentanyl, by the way.
Sure. I know.
Dude, that's her worry. Oh my God, the rich people are going to see a homeless encampment. How terrible for the rich people, right? But like, dude, what's her policy position on this? Like, what are her answers to this? And just, I saw somebody comment about the thumbnail. Dude, that thumbnail is just a screenshot from her on TYT, boss. That is literally just a screenshot, unedited. I didn't even make a fucking AI version of it. That is a straight screenshot from Anna on TYT on this thumbnail, boss. Okay? You know what I mean? Dude, so isn't that wild? Now she's like, oh my God, the rich people might see a homeless encampment and it would be so hard for us, right? It would be so hard for us. Even the wealthy people don't want to see a homeless encampment, right? And what's crazy though is there is never a moment where the wealthy people come out of their house and see a homeless encampment. You know, they never see a homeless encampment. What is she talking about, bro? Right? You know, where does she live in LA? Does she live in Brentwood? She probably lives in Brentwood or fucking Toluca Lake or something like that, where there's absolutely not a single fucking, right, Century City or I don't know where what neighborhood 𝗙𝗙𝗃𝗧𝗏 lives in, but she lives in in a condo neighborhood, right? I think she lives in condo neighborhood. Let's find out. Let's see if we have any information. Dude, Anna wants to speak to all of our neighborhoods. Yeah, see, I don't know what neighborhood she lives in, right? But I know she was born in the Valley, but you could tell, right? You could tell by the video. Remember the video where she was running around yelling at her neighbors about genocide, right? You remember that? You could tell by the buildings there. It was like a lot of these soft pink, like really new buildings with the underground parking garages with the sliding gates and shit. And there's a lot of those, but my guess would be either she was living somewhere in Brentwood or the West Valley, like TO, like Thousand Oaks or somewhere like that, which is like predominantly white neighborhoods that they have a lot of condos. They have a lot of condos that are in these really big, brand new sort of buildings, right? So that's my guess. My guess is I mean, it could be West Hollywood, but it could be West Hollywood, it could be Brentwood, or it could be somewhere out like TO, right? You know, the high walls. Yeah, Brentwood, I was definitely thinking Brentwood. Brentwood has condos that absolutely look like that, but there are a lot of those in West Hollywood as well, you know? So what do I think of the other people under the umbrella? I mean, so I like Fran and I like Kyle, right? And I like Sam, and I like Emma. Sometimes I will butt head with Emma's attitude sometimes, right? But I do like Emma. I think she's got a really important point of view. When I butt heads with Emma, I think it's just a class thing, right? You know what I'm saying? It is. It's like a working class person butting heads with a progressive who was raised in a U.S. attorney's family in New York City. There's a class difference that sometimes I butt heads with people based on those class differences, right? And you know, there are certain refined types of, you know, there's a certain type of integrity that upper class people try to apply to everybody that working class people are like, don't die on that type of integrity hill, because not everybody has the luxury and privilege that you do looking through the lens like that, you know? So sometimes I get that with Emma, where sometimes I feel like she has this integrity that comes very much from a place of privilege that I don't think she fully acknowledges all the time. So occasionally I get bristled by her, but I like her. I think her point of view is really important, and she's a fighter and really good at what she does. And, you know, I'm not familiar. Which one is Jair? Who is that? And John, I like John, but he's just too gutless for me. Okay, dude, he's too gutless for me, John. You know, the way the Fran thing like played out, like, dude, oh, it's pronounced JR? JR? Oh, JR. Okay. Dude, yeah, which one is JR? Which one is he? Is he the one that, let's see. Is he the guy who kind of feels like a sporting guy? Oh yeah. He was like filling in sometimes, wasn't he? You know what I'm saying? He was filling in sometimes on fucking, right? Didn't he fill in with Anna a couple times? Yeah. No, I liked him. I thought though, see, the thing about him is I liked him too, but I still like, I don't know. I felt like he was sort of like, you know, a little more protective of Anna and Cenk. Like, I felt like sometimes he was being protective of them because he's got to, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that I don't like. Okay. That's the thing that I don't like about TYT in general. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a beef, and this is not JR's fault. Okay. Right. This is, oh wait, no, that's not the guy I'm thinking of. No, this is not the guy I'm thinking of. Who's the other guy? There's another guy that filled in. This is not the guy that I was thinking of. This guy, I'm not familiar with this guy at all. There was another guy who was filling in with Anna. Oh, Waz. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, Waz is the guy I was thinking of, right? What's his name? Jordan? The guy who filled in for Cenk. Is it? Dude, why is he not coming up? Wozni? Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, this is the guy that was filling in. Yes. Yeah, this is the guy that was filling in that I felt like was, I'm sorry, I thought this guy was JR. This is the guy who was like super, like, like carrying the water for TYT every time he spoke, where he was like, I sort of have my own point of view, but no, I'm going to fucking protect TYT. You know what I mean? And it's this guy right here. And so this was the guy that I thought you were talking about. I'm not familiar with JR at all. Okay. But my thing though, guys, foundationally with TYT, the problem I had foundationally with TYT is the sort of like forced respect. You know what I mean? Like you go to any network, okay? You go to any network and like anybody on that network can blow up, okay? You go to CNN, you go to whatever, MSNBC, Rachel Maddow will blow up. And then when Maddow dies out, somebody else will blow up. And the networks will blow up and they all have their own point of view. And sometimes they may be competitive. But the thing that's always bothered me about TYT, always, is that Anna and Cenk always tried to be like the top people. They had to be like the network hosts. And it's also their fucking media network. So it's like the coach's son getting to be quarterback is what it was. Okay? That's what it was. It was like the coach's kids were always having the best positions on the team. And that's really like, they always suffered from that they made their number one network people be not the best people on the network. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if you go back and you look at TYT, their main show should never have been Anna and Cenk. It should have been Anna and Cenk until like Kyle and Franny and Emma and all these other people showed up. And then the main show should have been those blowing up anchors that were younger and more charismatic and had much more connection to the progressive audience. But instead, Anna and Cenk had to be the leaders and front and center, even though they were dated and fucking not very progressive and not at all in touch with what was going on. And the network would suffer based on their own fucking ego. You know, it's like, dude, they would have been so successful if they just let the successful people become like Hassan could have been leading a fucking show there, dude. They could have had Hassan like leading that fucking network and it would have been a flagship. But no, they wanted everyone to subjugate to them and they're fucking boring as shit, you know? And that's the problem. They're not very good and they made everybody sort of bow down before these mediocre fucking people. Dude, so I never really liked that. You know, I never liked that. Dude. And let's be honest, guys. I mean, let's be honest. Okay, you ready? Let's be really honest. TYT didn't blow up because they had intriguing, thoughtful news content. Okay, that's not why TYT blew up. TYT blew up because America was at war, was in financial crisis, and they were like, everybody was mad, and TYT was aggressive and controversial. They talked about camel toes, and they talked racy, in very sexist and pseudo-racist kind of ways that attracted a lot of attention with the fucking rebellious young people. And then they attacked both sides and they provided a home for like rage and people to direct it at, which is a very right-wing coded type of behavior. okay? And then, by the time they hitched themselves to Bernie, they like, I don't know, there was no going back because the world changed after Bernie and after Trump, where they couldn't go back to celebrity camel toes because we were in Me Too, right? I mean, think about that, guys. They went from celebrity camel toes and all that racy sort of like TMZ kind of shit. But then after Bernie, they couldn't go back to that because now their audience was like serious policy people that wanted to change the world. And they were like camel toe photographers, right? That said the N-word on the air, and they could no longer go back, right? And that's where they fucking fell apart. And so, and me from where? So with me, Hope, I'm from like mainstream media, okay? I never really got into YouTube political media, okay? Like for me, I was a mainstream media like consumer, somebody that consumed nightly news, daily news, afternoon programs, Nicole Wallace and shit like that, right? I consumed mainstream news and then I followed reporters on Twitter. So I was like mainstream news and Twitter journalism was where I got my news. I never watched YouTube, okay? And then I got YouTube, right? YouTube like came later, okay? So I missed all that early progressive shit, right? It was like, yeah, I missed it. I didn't see any of that shit, right? But yeah, no, I've always been a more of a mainstream guy. And I watched a lot of Hassan too. Like of all those people, the only person that I watched that was like outside the mainstream was Hassan. And I used to watch him on Twitch every day. You know what I'm saying? So I was like mainstream media, Twitter news, like direct from reporters, and then Hassan. Okay. And that's my formation. Mainstream is corporate TV. Yeah, but so the thing about it is though, Lake Living is mainstream is corporate TV, but everyone, now you don't fuck with me. All right, dude, if you don't fuck with me, I'm just going to remove you. I'm not going to have you sit in my chat saying, oh, I don't fuck with you. Fuck off then. If you don't fuck with me, go away. All right. I don't need you to sit here and tell me you don't fuck with me. No one cares. I don't care if you fuck with me. Get gone. All right. Later. Smell ya. Yeah, dude. I mean, they're going to cry about, oh, you're mainstream. Oh, it's like, dude, the thing about this is, here's the deal, is you may think you're anti-establishment because you don't watch MSNBC, but you're establishment of something, okay? If you watch Hassan is the socialist establishment. And there are other people that do socialism that aren't the establishment that think Hassan isn't doing socialism right. And there's always like that, okay? And the reality is like the media, all media is biased and all media has an audience capture, okay? And not every, you know what I'm saying? All media does, okay? And especially on YouTube, okay? The thing about this is you may think YouTube is not corporate, but let me just tell you guys, and hear me, okay? You gotta hear this, that once you blow up on YouTube, you have to keep making what blows you up on YouTube or your channel will die, okay? You know what I'm saying? And if you want to see the difference, look at a channel like fucking, Keith Edwards versus David Pakman, okay? Right? David Pakman, he's got millions of subs and he's still doing well because of his long history, but he's not getting a lot of modern reach. Okay, a lot of his videos barely get any views, so he just makes like hundreds of videos. All right, but you become like an audience capture if you want to continue growing. All right, and that happens with all media. So corporate media is audience capture. Like one of the things you'll notice is the media shifts to administrations. Okay, when there's a Democratic administration in there, the media will attack the Democrats. When there's a Republican administration in there, the mainstream media will attack the fucking Republicans. I mean, because media is drama, okay? That's what you do. Most of your media is going to be attacking because that's what sells, right? But dude, You know what I'm saying? Dude, I'm not defending myself. I'm telling you how it is, right? Because like there's so much of this attitude, because part of this, guys, is why the socialist people never fucking win, bro. They never win. Like, why do no, and look at the socialists who won, is Zoran Mamdani. Why? Because he knows how to attach to the mainstream. He got Hochul. He got Hakeem Jeffries. That's why AOC is still in there, right? And the other socialists, they lose. They go nowhere because they're like, oh, I'm not going to commune with anybody in the mainstream. It's like, okay, then you're going to lose and you're never going to get any policy across. And you're going to be crying your whole life about how everyone's a sellout. Fucking dunces, bro. You know what I mean? It's like dunces. That's the problem with the socialist movement is they don't realize if you don't play the game, you're never getting your goddamn socialism, you know? And dude, it's like you gotta commune, boss. You do. You gotta commune. You gotta use all the tools. You know what I'm saying? You do. It's important. Dude. It's important, man. Dude. And it's crazy though, guys, because I think some of this is from the algorithms. And it's not just like leftism, or even if you're a centrist liberal, like algorithms can force you into becoming like one issue kind of deals. You know what I mean? Right? They do. It's like every sect of the Democratic Party grabs onto one issue and then they fucking grasp on. You know what I'm saying? Like you become very singularly focused because that's the algorithm just feeds it, right? Dude, it's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard making content with algorithms. And my point being is it's not any different than the corporate media. I mean, because the thing about this, guys, is if you, and I'm going to go on the record saying this for all of us doing YouTube, okay? If you go and you look at Kyle Kulinski, who I love, you look at Hassan, who I love, they're different. You look at David Pakman, who I don't love, but I don't hate him. I love Brian Tyler Cohen. Midas Touch, I really love what they're doing, but I also know that they're very mainstream Democrat Party. But if you look at all of them, okay, if you look at all of them, it's not about taking corporate money, all right? So Kyle takes no corporate money, but all of those content creators have to make what their audience consumes in order to stay afloat, okay? So Hassan is going to make whatever his audience wants to consume. He has to, or he doesn't have a channel, okay? So once Hassan went out there and did his politics thing, whatever persona blew him up, then you dig into that persona and you lay into it. And now what could very well happen is 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, they could feel a little bit differently than their on-screen persona, but their on-screen persona has to be what that audience is consuming. And so like everybody is like dealing with audience capture. And in fact, on YouTube, you deal with audience capture in a profoundly different way than corporate. Like you don't have a board making decisions, hiring and firing people. No one can fire you, but you yourself have to make those audience capture decisions. And you look at the videos that get you the most views and you make more of those videos. Okay, so if there's a content creator, this is what happens on the right too. A content creator makes a video about transgender issues. If that blows up, they're going to start covering transgender issues. If you make a video about, fucking the unions, pro-union, and it blows up, you're going to lean into pro-union regardless. You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of like there's nobody that's independent of that. And so that's why like this idea, you know what I'm saying, is like this idea of like who people are and what they believe is like, it's complicated, man. You know what I'm saying? It is. And then, the other thing that is natural, guys, with politics that, can I just tell you, that you get to appear, follow my thing here, you get to appear like your integrity is like so untouchable when you're wealthy, okay? When you are wealthy, when you have a $2 million home or a $5 million home, you can be like, man, I will not bend my integrity one bit. But of course you can, because you don't have to play with the middle Democrats, because if the Democrats lose and the Republicans lose, you make more money, okay? And don't forget that too, with every progressive fucking socialist, progressive, communist, whatever, if they're making millions of dollars, they profit when the Republicans win. So they can burn down the Democratic Party and be like, this party fucking sucks, fuck these guys. And they literally hit the cash register with if the Dems lose, okay? And like, so for me, I'm a little different because I'm not wealthy. I'm a little more working class. And at the end of the day, I definitely, like, I do better when Democrats win, okay? So I am much more like trying to help the Democrats win because my life and existence is just better when the Democrats are in office, right? That's the reality of it. Dude, it is. It's the reality of it. And this is why I have a problem with some of these progressives like 𝗏𝗂𝗏. Dude, like 𝗏𝗂𝗏 is like, he's Mr. Progressive, but dude, he's never going to actually accomplish progressive policy because he does better when there is no progressive policy. Like, come on, man. You know? This is why, like, I don't know, dude. This is why it's hard. It's hard, dude. It's hard, you know? But at the end of the day, though, guys, you know, just so we know, anybody who's watching, I don't hate the Democratic Party, okay? I don't. I mean, I understand that it's got, you know, some issues, but you always have issues with a political apparatus or a power structure. Every power structure has issues. But, dude, I like the Dems. Dude, I do. I like the Democratic Party. I like what they've done. They've not gone far enough, but a lot of it is because of American voters, you know? And, I mean, you know, they definitely are better than the Republicans. And the thing that's really hard is like, you know, the thing that's hard for me is there's a lot of people I love that are like socialists and super progressive. But my thing is if you are super progressive and you hate the Democratic Party and you're not running for office, then you're a cop-out, okay? Because you can either like the Democratic Party and get involved and be a part of it and you know, get that political power and fight while you have the power, or if you hate both parties, then you got to run as a progressive and you got to fucking change it. You can't just stand on the outside and say, I hate everybody, and so I'm just going to be a ball of resentment who constantly excoriates every politician except the 3 good ones, and then you do nothing but fucking criticize and put negative energy in there that helps contribute to you losing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's bullshit. It's like, if you really hate it so much, then get in the game, right? Either like it and participate or get in the fucking game yourself and quit being a fucking naysayer who does nothing but watch and be like a Monday morning quarterback, right? You know what I mean? That's my fucking thing. That's how I feel. I feel like, you know, like a lot of the people that like, you know, and there's a lot of really good progressives out there, don't get me wrong. But there are a lot of people that all they do is tear people down and they never get involved themselves. Dude, Game Shark, thank you for supporting Dems. They ain't perfect, but I can't stand both sidesism as if both sides are equally bad. Yeah, that's true, Game Shark. Let's go. Let's go, baby. By that logic, Tommy, America stopped giving a fuck. I mean, dude, America... a lot of America has stopped giving a fuck, guys. They have, but you know why? Like, a lot of America has stopped giving the fuck because we have the privilege of being able to not give a fuck. And especially if you're white, most of the world just keeps working for you. That's the real problem, guys. If you boil down American politics, it's like you can be white in this country and not give a shit and vote any which way but loose, and it doesn't matter. No matter who's in there, you will equally have privilege over most of the country. And you never are really touched by a lot of the struggles, right? For the most part. That's really the problem, is because of how much power whiteness has. All the white voters cannot give a shit, and they can just coast through voting for a Dem, a Republican, a Dem. They can switch their vote, right? Every fucking, 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Very fine people on Logic's side. Dem sucks too. Just open your eyes. I mean, dude, at the end of the day, guys, like I just don't focus. I don't choose to focus on how everybody sucks. Okay. You know why? Because I don't get anything productive done. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of like I could sit and take the focus of everything about my own party that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? I could sit there and look at all the shit I hate about the Democratic Party and just like spend all my time hating it. But like, what would that accomplish? It certainly wouldn't help us win an election. It certainly wouldn't help us fucking, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the reality is, guys, is you have to accept the reality that America is a corporate politics, moneyed fucking scene. That's just reality. I mean, is it good? No. Do I like it? No. But it's the system we have. You know what I'm saying? It's the system we fucking have. And so you have to play inside the system you have, right? You want dance school? All right, let's do it. I mean, dude, that's one of the things that bothers me about politics is people are like, oh, I hate this system. Like, we're not going to use the system. We're not going to, right? But like, dude, we have a system. You have to like work the system you have. You know what I mean? The centrists mostly discuss you, basically conservatives, but with self-awareness. Yeah, I mean, guys, it's just religion, boss. You know what I'm saying? It's just religion. Really, when you think about it, I would venture to guess, right? Lefties want poor people help, so that's the frustration. No one centers them. I mean, guys, let's be honest. Let's go, Green Ghost. Thank you, dude. 6-6. Let's go. I mean, you got to look at the reality, okay? Like, I would venture to guess that most of the Democrats you don't like are Christians, guys. And maybe they're Catholics, and they are people that have that Christian capitalism of like, they have money, they have that little bit of Calvinism in them. I know that's certainly the thing that bothers me about Hakeem Jeffries. It's not his centristism, it's his Christianity. It's the fact that the guy is not concerned if the world gets worse or better necessarily because he's like a Jesus freak. And, Joe Biden was the same way, a devout Catholic. And like those religious sort of center Dems are definitely more conservative because of their religion. It's not even about policy, boss. I think it's about religion. And that's why the socialism and communism shit is seen as negative, because those systems are looked at as like anti-religious, okay? And dude, that's really, I think it's not even a Democrat-Republican problem. It's a Christian secular problem, is what it is. Dude, it's fucked up. Because even a lot of our Democrat leaders are devout Christians, man. And it's fucked up, bro. It sucks. It sucks. And I mean, dude, it's fucking, yeah, it's tough, right? You think they're all, oh, dude, Christians are terribly hypocritical, And I mean, there's an innate thing with Christianity that says you are right and you know better than everyone. And so, you know what I'm saying? And so that's really problematic. Dude, I swear to you, I do battle with this inside the Democratic Party a lot. It's like the Christianity element. Especially like the fucking Catholic element is fucking tough, bro. Dude, it's fucked up, bro. You know? All right. Dude, Christ was the first socialist? Dude. Oh! All right. But so Anna, though, guys. Dude, we got to get back to Anna. All right? Because I got to maintain a time schedule here. But, bro, dude, Anna is... Dude, look at what she responded to. You ready? So check this out. Okay? Now, this is 𝗙𝗪𝗏 who blocked me, right? Because I am problematic. And, you know, she is now hanging out with Tucker. Dude, she loves Tucker. She fucking loves Tucker Carlson. But look at Post Left Watch said, quoted her, 𝗙𝗪𝗏, do you really want to live in a country where as soon as you walk outside your door, there's a massive homeless encampment? You know, do you really want to live in a country like that? Because I don't. They quoted her is what they did. That's all they did. And it says this was part of a 15-minute preview of the entire episode. This was the part they wanted to promote. Now, guys, notice that. We watched this clip. This was the clip that they chose to promote. So who are they cultivating? I mean, she looks like she's getting a little Virginia Fox look on her face there. But who do you think they're cultivating with a quote like this, right? With a quote that says, you really want to live in a country like that? Homeless people, homeless encampments. They're not cultivating progressives. They're not cultivating a left-wing audience. But look at Anna's response, guys. Look at her. She throws in the capitals for emphasis. She said, correct. I, in fact, do not want to see human beings living outside in squalor. This was in the context of our politicians failing Americans as they engage in endless favors for foreign countries. How is this a controversial opinion? If you're on the left and you want to see homeless encampments, you are the problem. And so here's the thing, though, Anna, that I couldn't tell you because you blocked me, because I've been reporting on your burgeoning, growing anti-Semitism that's gotten a grip on you since you've gone off the rails with some obvious hurt from Palestine and you know, the genocide and fucking, you know, the homeless situation and your how badly the term birthing person destroyed you, even though it never hit you. Nobody ever called you that. You just heard birthing person and it filled you with a fucking, you know, with a J.K. Rowling type rage. But let me just tell you, Anna, here's the fucking problem. The problem is nobody wants to see homeless encampments. Okay? Nobody does. But the problem is your mention here is, do you really want to live in a country where as soon as you walk outside, there's a massive homeless encampment? No, of course I don't want to do that. The problem is your statement was that homeless encampments are dirty and disgusting and squalor, as you put it, living in squalor. And you don't want to see squalor because it's gross to look at. But the reality is Anna, they're fucking human beings. Okay? And nobody wants them to be homeless, but the first thing we got to do is we got to see they're not living in squalor. They're doing the best they can to survive, okay? They're literally working so hard. They're not cooking drugs and starting fires in the Pacific Palisades, Anna. You fucking dumb idiot, right? They are human beings that got down on their luck for X, Y, or Z reason, and they are working so much harder than any of the people that have jobs and homes. And they are working and scrambling and struggling to survive. And so what we want is we want a humane solution. We want wealth distribution. And we want fucking changes. We want health care, right? And you know what I'm saying? We want fucking police reform. So when one of them is having a mental health crisis because they can't get any medication, the cops don't stroll in and fucking murder the guy, okay? And it's not as simple as we just don't want to look at the squalor. But by you identifying homeless people as squalor, you have dehumanized them to the point of where if you send in the bulldozers and just put them in RFK Jr.'s camps, you're going to be okay with that, okay? You're like, oh, trying to help them in a humane way is just, the squalor's still here. So now we got to get tough. Now we got to start arresting them and fucking forcing them into shit. And the point being is you've lost your humanity, Anna. Okay, it's not even about the homeless people or their existence. It's the fact that you don't have any fucking humanity left. Okay, that's the problem that the left-wingers have with you, Anna. And I'm sorry you don't understand that. But, you know, it's like, now let's go back and look here. We got 𝗙𝗪𝗏. Republicans move us to slave state for corporations. Corporate Dems steady the economy for grievances used to then get Republicans elected. Rinse and repeat, right? And God, I mean, bro, I will tell you guys, I will say this. I think passing a bill that doesn't let you trade stocks in office would be the great start. That will get rid of a lot of this corporate ownership, guys, if they can't trade stocks, right? Because right now, one of the big problems is the type of people who go into government are the people like MTG or Ro Khanna that want to get in there and they want to make $40 million in stock. Okay, that's the type of people that go into government. We need people that go into government who aren't going to get any stock. So you get people that are outside the stock owning population. 93% of the stock is in the hands of 10% of the people. You know what I mean? So the point being is if you make it so no stock is allowed in you and your family, then all of those rich stock fucker Ivy League kids, Nepo baby brats are no longer going to want to be in government because they can't get wealthy there. And that will fucking go a long way. Dude, James, thank you, boss. Appreciate you. Let's go, guys. Dude, we got another one from Stop the Stupidity. Let's go, dude. A little something for the party. Let's go. Oh, yes. You know what I mean? Dude, but yeah, so Anna seems to be missing something here, though, right? Because the thing is she says she doesn't want to see human beings living outside, but she's dehumanized them to the point of where they're disgusting to look at, okay? And then if you want to be humane with them, she's like, you want them to be homeless. Dude, Trumpy today announces the Unaffordable Care Act. Dude, let's go. Dude, Trumpy announces his healthcare plan where he's going to give you $200 and you can go buy your own great insurance with it. She doesn't care about the people in the story she is telling. She just makes money and complains. It's destructive. We need to engage like this more. Indeed. Let's go. Let's go, May Money. Dude, let's put on our red shoes and dance the blues away. Our red shoes, yes, we're going to put on our red shoes and dance. Let's go. But yeah, man, that's the thing, though, okay? She's lost the thing. And then somebody from the right says, support tough on crime and drugs policy. Dude, tough on drugs policy, guys, doesn't work, guys, okay? Dude, tough on drugs policy doesn't work. We had a tough on drugs policy in the 80s. We had a tough on crime policy in the fucking 90s. It didn't work, guys. Look at where those policies got us, man. It got us to the fucking right. I mean, dude, that shit, tough on drugs and crime doesn't work. You need to treat the economic reasons and the fucking breakdown of, like, you know, emotional support that kids have that lead to crime, guys. You know what I'm saying? That lead to drug use. Okay, drug use happens, right? Drug abuse and drug addiction can happen to anyone, but like people that are struggling economically or people that aren't struggling economically but are having, like, you know, fucking connection issues, it's like a lot of that is mental health, emotional disconnection, emotional dysregulation, trauma, lack of, right? And you know, it's like the insanity and brutality of capitalism is what causes people to fucking crumble in that way, right? So what we need to do is we need to make the system of capitalism like something that is compassionate and empathetic and caring and values human beings more than the dollar. Have a great time at the beach, my brother. I will fall in, because think about this, guys. When you are born into a world where every minute of every day you get a reinforced message from every piece of media, every piece of government, every piece of fame worship that money is more important than your life, right? Like, oh yeah, they poisoned a town, but the company's still there because they just paid some money, right? Yeah, somebody died in an accident because of negligence. They paid money. Financial crimes, they looted people's retirements. The whole economy crashed, but the guys just paid some money to make it go away. Amazon steals from all their employees, but they just pay a tiny amount of money and then they get a whole bunch of tax credits too. When you are constantly reinforced that your life doesn't fucking matter, that the only thing that matters is money, and if the system grinds you up and shits on you, nobody fucking cares. They won't even come and rescue you when you're dying on the street. How do you think your fucking citizens are going to feel? You think they're going to end up having mental health issues, crises, anxiety, need medication, turn to drugs, turn to criminal behavior? I mean, come on, guys. You can't tell people they're worthless their entire fucking time and then blame them when they engage in behavior that is a byproduct of being told they're fucking worthless. Thanks for being here. I'm going through it right now. Let's go, Miss Good Life. Dude, we're going through it. We got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, dude, it's our system, bro. It's our system that like, and dude, Anna's missing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Dude, Anna is she's missing this shit, guys. Right? She is fucking missing it. You know? You know what I'm saying? And, you know what I mean? It's fucking brutal. But, all right, Anna. Dude, you blocked me. And so we're never going to have that fucking connection that I thought we might have. But Anna, I still love you. Okay? I do. I'm going to still content the shit out of you because I'm going to prevent you from fucking, causing too much damage. Dude, Mr. Shiz, let's go, baby. Discord link is down in the description. Shadowy side of all this classism. Yeah, no, I know, guys. Dude, it's crazy, bro. All right. Oh, dude, why is Senate trending? All right. Senate is trending. Graham Plattner, there is no ceasefire. Dude, there's no ceasefire. We knew this. Oh, shit. Dude, Jasmine Crockett might run for Senate. That would be interesting, guys. Oh, Lord have mercy. Dude, Trump's deal. Dude, Trump's deal, everybody knew that shit was bullshit, right? Dude, Sabrina Carpenter's got a tour. Dude, I like Sabrina Carpenter. I don't like her music, but I think she is adorable and has incredible star power, dude. She does. All right. Moving on. I love pop. Don't get me wrong. I just don't love her pop. But dude, she is like, I don't know, dude, the way she dresses and shit, I feel like she's brought a little bit of like the 1920s back. Do you guys see that? Like the 1920s and the 1960s, and she's like super like sexual. Which is, and I'm not even looking at her as like a sex object per se. The fact that she is like sex forward. Like when I see women that are unabashedly like flaunting their sexuality, I find it really amazing because it's like they're not playing that demure, be my fucking, be my controlled entity. Okay. You know what I'm saying? They're behaving more like men, And I fucking like that shit, bro. Sabrina Carpenter. You know what I'm saying? It's not so innocent. I don't think there should be innocence, boss. I think innocence, like, you know what I'm saying? Dude, I like that shit, boss. I do. I like women who do that, man. I do. I like women that are fucking, that's why I love the women that like do OnlyFans and shit like that. because there has been men have been allowed to be sexual. So men have been allowed to be sex forward. Okay, let's go. Appreciate your wisdom and content. Thank you, 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗆. Men have been allowed to lead with their sexual identities. Okay, and men have been allowed to lead with their sexuality for as long as I can remember, right? A man can be a fucking cock-walking dude, and he can be bold and brash and aggressive and in your face. And but if a woman behaved like that, she was a slut or a whore or whatever, right? And now I like women behaving like men in that way and being like, fuck you. I'm not a slut. I'm actually quite chaste. I am just, expressive with my sexual energy, and I mine it, and I know that it's a currency to you. And so I'm going to cash it in, And I think that kind of shit is amazing. And yeah, I saw somebody say that's why I loved Courtney Love. Dude, it's absolutely why I love Courtney Love, right? Because she was that way. She was like, I will lead with my sexuality and fuck you. I will behave like a man and fuck you. And then look at what we did. Look at what we looked at, guys. 2005, it was Courtney Love who was the first woman to speak out against Harvey Weinstein in public. Courtney Love did it 14 years before before Me Too, right? Because those women are they're fearless, right? That is the most offensive thing in a patriarchal society, is for a woman to lead with her sexuality but not be a slut. You know what I'm saying? Like a woman who is a fucking, right? Who is a sex worker or uses her sexuality, but she's not. She's actually chaste in her own personal feelings about it, but she monetizes it without care. That is so dangerous to the male patriarchy, right? They can't fathom it, right? Because many of them can't stop thinking with their dicks, right? They end up becoming Republicans where they think nudity equals sex. So if they go to there's a nude bike ride and they're like, holy shit, they're gonna fucking kill all the children. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, bro. Dance party, yo, let's go, Martine, thank you. Dude, you're right. They're serving themselves. They're monetizing the dudes, and then they're serving themselves. Did I miss one other than that? No. I got Martine's. Oh, I did miss one. Eddie, dance away the blues. Good rocking tonight. Thank you, boss. Dude, I'm sorry I missed you, Eddie. Thank you. Thank you for the fucking reminder, guys. Always remind me if I miss your shit. All right? Don't let me. Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate that, boss. Sorry I missed it. Let's go. Dude, yeah, it was right after the shiz. Let's go. Thank you, Eddie. Dude, all right, guys, let's look at the counter here. We got 24 minutes, 8 left. We got plenty of time. We're going to get this. But yeah, dude, so anyway, Sabrina Carpenter is trending, and I fucking, right? I like I said, I love the way her star personality, okay? If you look at her, dude, she has a very 1920s kind of vibe. It's very old, early American, but she is sort of combined that with a modern openness towards her sexual energy and her sexuality being a currency. And now again, I don't love her music. Her music doesn't really hit me, but I love her artistry. Okay, her artistry, it's got this 60s / 1920s / really modern sexuality vibe that is just amazing, dude, with all the spiky, glittery boots and shit. Dude, I fucking love it. I love it. I fucking love her so much, boss. I do. And I mean, even that, right? The way she does that, the way she comes out wrapped in a towel, if you grew up as a kid, all the women wore towels like that, and then she opens it up, but she's covered because she knows what fucking people want. And dude, she's just so amazing, dude. She is if you see her in the center of attention, she's got this star power, guys. That is undeniable, man. It's undeniable. It really is, dude. Very Marilyn Monroe vibes for sure. Definitely Marilyn Monroe vibes, but without the fucking drug addiction, without the darkness. Like, I don't see her having that fatalist, like, you know what I mean? Because Marilyn Monroe was that at a time when everybody wanted to crush her for it, okay? And dude, Christina Aguilera, though, like, I love Christina Aguilera, too. Christina Aguilera, though, has I like her music way better. But Christina Aguilera has that as well. Absolutely. And fucking so does who was the girl in Wicked, right? Who was the girl in Wicked, dude? Right? Dude, what's her name? Ariana, right? Right? You know what I mean? She too. Ariana, though, but Ariana has it in more of like the nice girl, okay? Ariana is more, is like a little bit, she has a similar star power, but she's often, you know, I don't know, there's kind of like an innocence to it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, dude, I don't know. I love pop stars, though. I do. I love pop stars. But my favorite, though, guys, my favorite of all of the female pop stars, if you put them all out there, there's one for me that is like my real, like, not counting Courtney Love who's in the band, but if you take all of the ones of like the pop, my number one is and will always be Kesha, okay? For me, Kesha is always number one because Kesha has the, you know, the vibe, the attitude, the boldness, the fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, Kesha is like my fucking, that's my one, bro. That she's always been my main pop star. And Lady Gaga is probably number two, right? But dude, Kesha, oh, I fucking love Kesha. Yeah, dude. Dude, I love her. Dude, yeah, she's a warrior. She is. She had an album called Warrior. But let's go. All right. Dude, Lady Gaga is amazing, dude. She's so good. She's like a really good actress, too. Like A Star Is Born. Holy fucking shit, bro. Dude, that movie, like I could inject that movie into my veins. The remake of A Star Is Born with fucking Lady Gaga. Like, holy fucking shit. That movie, unfucking believable, man. Dude, unbelievable. Dude, Pink was my jam before Kesha showed up. Dude, Pink was amazing. Dude, Pink is the fucking, you like that? You like that comment about injecting A Star Is Born into my veins? Oh, let's go. Oh. Dude, no Pink? Yeah, well, Pink is just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like I outgrew Pink. But I liked Pink. Dude, I was a big Pink fan. Right? Oh, dude, Sinead was good. All right, moving on. We got more shit to cover, guys. All right, dude, let's cover Jillian Michaels, guys. Oh my God. Bro. Dude, we're on the meltdown circuit, okay? It is a Karen bonanza. Okay? Dude, you gotta look at this. Okay, because Jillian Michaels is now taking her own fucking Anna. She is on her own, dude, she is on her own fucking, like, going down the rabbit hole here. Dude. So, we've seen this, okay? We've seen her. She was a gay married, right? She was a Democrat who got gay married, and then she got Hollywood rich. Okay, she did. She got Hollywood rich with that horrible show, guys. I'm sorry, dude. The Biggest Loser, I never watched that show because I found the premise of it, the title of it, everything about that show to just be horrific and not helpful in our society. Like a terrible, terrible fucking show. Terrible premise, right? And you notice all kinds of, like, there was all kinds of, like, problems with it. not only with her behavior on it, but with people like starving themselves and training themselves to like a low weight and then going off the show and the weight comes back because not everybody's meant to be skinny. This idea that everyone can be skinny is like bullshit. And so, yeah, this obsession with fitness and being skinny will create health issues for a lot of people. And it puts people on another type of addiction, right? A food and a weight and an image addiction, especially with women, body dysmorphia, right? That is, connected to them seeing themselves as too fat, even when they're skinny. And this idea, though, that you should be shamed for it, that you can shame people or degrade them into getting fucking skinny. And then once they're skinny, they're valuable, right? That this idea that you're not valuable because you're fat, because you're overweight, because it's a symbol of your laziness and your whatever. But then if you do what we tell you and you get yourself into this skinny version of yourself for us, because we can't stand to look at you, then you're all of a sudden you have value now. And dude, it's just fucking disgusting, man. It is. Everything about it is disgusting. Okay? Everything about it. So I fucking boycotted the show. I never fucking watched it. I refused to watch it. I refused to buy into that. I don't like a lot of reality TV because, right, the reality TV that I watched that I liked was like Project Runway. Okay? I loved Project Runway. I used to watch the shit out of that show, right? I did. Project Runway was amazing. You know what I'm saying? It was fucking amazing, dude. It really was. I loved that show, dude. It was so good. It was like people like, I love the fashion world, even though fashion world has a lot of toxicity too. But dude, that show was great. But anyway, dude, so she, right? So fucking, she got Hollywood rich. And after she got gay married, she sort of, I think it was the anti-vax stuff, guys, that really got her. Okay. It was like, doesn't it seem like the anti-vaxxing thing is what fucking hit Jillian? Because I know she ended up on like transphobia and that became her big beef once transgender people started having, right? Once people started having fucking, right? Once people started having, like transgender people started having rights in California, she became very anti-trans, but I feel like it was the anti-vaxxing that came first, right? I mean, there's, I don't know what her religious beliefs are like, but I know that there was a woman that was in, right? There was a woman that was in an acting class I had, okay? And she married a guy and she became very, very Christian. And then when she became Christian, she started posting like anti-vax stuff on Instagram and it blew up. And next thing you know, she had like 200,000 followers on Instagram and she became like the anti-vax thing really sort of blew up. This was starting to happen in like 2015, really. 2014, 2015. Okay. It started long before we got to the pandemic. You know what I mean? And so I feel like that was her gateway, right? You know what I mean? Because there's always a gateway, guys. There's always a gateway when you're a Democrat and you switch to becoming a Republican where all of a sudden you don't mind the Nazis and the racism and the xenophobia. You've gone there because of a gateway. You've gotten resentful and alarmed and scared to death about something. You are now ensconced and guided by fear and paranoia. And then you go into this group where everybody's feeding on that. And you all of a sudden you feel like you're not crazy because they're all living in fear and paranoia and resentment. And so that's how you kind of get sucked in. But there's gateways. There's like the anti-vaxxing can be a gateway. Transphobia is a gateway. Having a crime committed against you can be a gateway. all of a sudden a crime gets committed and you blame your government officials for your PTSD. And then you become like this crime obsessed person, right? You know, the gay issues. Oh, there's transgender kid at the school. Now I'm worried my kid's going to be trans, right? You know, there's always some kind of a gateway that like sucks you in. And I think hers was the anti-vax, because she kind of became an RFK Jr. person, didn't she? Wasn't she kind of an RFK Jr. guy that then went to Trump? I don't know. I don't know a lot about her, but I do know that I started seeing her being like really transphobic once she had her podcast. Those were the clips I would see, was either anti-vax or transphobia, right? And then, of course, her recent thing, though, was her break with Anna on Israel, okay? And now we've seen her. Look at what we've seen her. She was like anti-vax. She was anti-trans, and she had her podcast. She still considered her on the left. But then she started talking about like the left is losing me, okay? The left is losing me, right? That sort of became her language, and she started, you know, interviewing either right-wing people or people like Anna and Cenk that are occupying that right-wing space, but saying they're on the left. And they're, you know, then though, it was the CNN thing, right? All that pushback because she defended slavery. And she said slavery wasn't just a white thing. Like, oh my God, you're painting Trump wrong, right? Like, really? Like, Jillian, shut the fuck up. Look at your house. Look at your house. Look at the ceilings. Look at the walls. I mean, that's a slave owner's house. I know you didn't own any slaves, but like in America, that's a plantation owner's house there. Okay, that's not a worker's house. She lives in the plantation owner's part of the American society. Okay, let's be honest. Look at that fucking house, bro. Look at those inset ceilings with the beams. Like, come on, man. That thing is right. It's true, dude. And so she's on CNN, like forgetting that she lives in a plantation house and saying, oh, slavery wasn't just white people. It's like, what the fuck is going on with you? And then the big break was Israel. Okay, Anna and her. Anna's like tearing into Netanyahu, and she just flipped out on Israel, right? Flipped out, walked off the show, quit the show. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Dude, Conlon, nobody's talking about the architecture, boss. Okay, I'm talking about the money. Okay, the money it takes to have a house like that. In America, there's only two classes. You're a worker or you're an owner. Okay, and that is the reality of what American society is. You're either in the plantation owner class or you're in the worker class. Okay, and there's subdivisions inside that, but there are no workers in America that have a fucking building like this. There's not a single worker in America that lives in a house like this anywhere. Okay, only the fucking people in the ownership class have those types of furnishings. Okay, now there's nothing wrong with being in the ownership class, guys. Okay, I get it. If you go into the ownership class, you earn money, whatever, you make it big, you have a discovery, you fucking want to live with those trappings. But the problem is when you get into that ownership class and all of a sudden you come out and start fucking speaking out against, you know, you all of a sudden want to forget slavery, you want to forget your privilege, you start oh, the homeless people are now a problem, I want to just get them out of my sight. The problem is when you get into that ownership class and you start acting like a fucking owner. That's the problem, okay? That's the problem, guys, is becoming that fucking plantation identity. You know, that's the problem, all right? Dude, let's go. Videos YouTube featured? Let's go, baby. Hey, all right, guys, you ready? We got 7 minutes. Let's secure this dance party. And then we're going in. And then we're going to watch this clip. Okay? But yeah, so dude, that slavery thing, and then she fucking, right? And then she broke down over the Israel stuff. Yeah, she has a black daughter. I know she does. But like, dude, you know, it's like, you know, that is like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I wonder what her experience of her black daughter is growing up in that environment, right? Like, it's wild. I would love to like have her daughter be interviewed like 15 years from now. I'd be real curious what that's like, you know? I mean, dude, all right, we need 8 and 8, guys. 8 and 6. We got 6 minutes left. We got to fucking shore this up. Get that dance party, and then we go, baby. All right. Dude, here we go. We're coming down to the wire, dude. Dude, but anyway, wait till you see this, dude. Snow puppies growl in their sleep. Thank you, Sam. Let's go. All right, 7 and 6, guys. 7 and 6. We got this. Dance party. All right. Dance party. Oh, shit. You know what's funny is even with some of those wealthy people, like, I you know what it is, guys? I mean, I can't speak for everybody because there's all different things, and I hate to generalize. But there is a subsection of rich people that aren't actually racist per se, right? And even if you look at them, they would be like, wow, dude, Drew Lad, let's go. They're not openly racist, but the problem is they're not anti-racist. So what they do is they allow that racist system to keep like taking care of them. And then their primary concern becomes about their own being taken care of. And so they allow the racist, you know, system and underpinnings of it to exist. You want to make me a hat? Do I have a P.O. box? I'm going to get a P.O. box, Gaia. I had one, but I did cancel it, but I will be getting another one. I will let you know. Would love the hat. And that's just it, you know? And like, it's hard because Snow Puppy's doing that twitching thing. Let's go, Sam. It's hard. I mean, and this is the problem with a lot of the centrist Democrats. And guys, I hate to say it, this is a problem with a lot of our progressive leaders and spokespeople as well, is that they are surviving like gangbusters inside this system. So they'll sit there and rail at it and say, oh, this is broken and that's broken and this sucks and that's broken. And they'll monetize your rage and your disappointment, but they're not actually going to change anything because they're still taken care of by the fucking system too. Deja vu, go Sweden. Let's go. And dude, it's not just the Republicans or the centrists. I mean, it's kind of all of us. It's like the minute we get financially taken care of, we're just sort of like, you know, like, okay, well, we really want this great shit, but if we don't get it, I'm still cashing the checks. You know, dude, Earth is bipolar. Let's dance. Yes, Game Shark. Let's go, guys. 4 minutes. All right, we need, oh, shit, dude, we already got 19. We only need one more. Holy shit, dude, that went quick. You guys are crazy. Super does not go towards the target dance party. It does. Super does go towards the dance party, right? The stickers don't. Supers do. That's why they don't want to acknowledge Mom Donnie, the significance of he breaks all those myths. Yeah, I mean, Mom Donnie is crazy. He's crazy different because he's sticking to the message. You know what I mean? And now, guys, here's what we have to do because we know that Mom Donnie is going to play the game. Okay, I saw him the way he worked with Hochul and the way he decided to cover for Hakeem Jeffries and keep him safe. It's obvious that Mom Donnie is playing the game. He's playing the system the same way that AOC does, right? Where they're not simply going to be an obstructionist. They're going to get their hands on real levers of power so they can bring other DSA type people into the fold, because that's just it, guys. What you need is you need to have the AOCs be the Speaker of the House or the Senate Majority Leader. Earth is flat. Let's go. Here we go. Earth is, flat round, right? But they can't get up. They can't get in there. you know, like you can't do it without getting to that position of power. So we made the goal, dance party. But so the hard thing is though, is you lose some of your like magic when you do it, right? Like, see, look at how many people turned against AOC, right? A lot of people have turned against AOC. And now with her and Mamdani supporting 𝗙�埃👋💾, a lot of people are going to not see the political necessity of that. And so a lot of people are going to get all nasty with them and get fucking hateful of them. But you got to understand, guys, they're playing the long game, man. You know what I'm saying? They're playing the long game, dude. They are Mamdani and AOC. They know what the game is. And they know it's about like getting up in the upper levels of that Democratic establishment power and then running it differently from the inside out, you know? And that's, it's something that's really hard. You know, sometimes you can't afford to be a purist. I know you can. I'm going to tell you this, guys, right now. This is my personal observation. Most of the purists, when I run into purists, like absolute purists who are like, I will not bend my integrity even 1%, nothing, right? It's just, I will side with no one who doesn't live up to my personal integrity. Every time I see those people, they're usually wealthy. It's usually wealthy people that behave like that. That people that come from wealth where they're allowed to have that purism because they can turn everybody away because they can survive without a coalition because they literally have enough wealth that they are fucking immune to all the hellfire that comes with whatever decisions get made. And a lot of working class people don't have that same integrity. You know what I'm saying? They don't. They can't. They can't turn everybody away because they survive by the village. Okay? And when you're wealthy enough, you get to purchase your village. Okay? You don't need a village anymore when you're wealthy. You can just purchase it, right? And that's really that's where a lot of that integrity, you know, comes up. Where you know what I'm saying? Where when you have enough money where you can purchase the village to fucking take care of your needs, you don't need a coalition. You can turn everybody away and be like, no, you need to bend to my fucking how I see it, right? Dude, 𝗙𝗪𝗓, good word. Yeah, dude, I heard the mayor in Seattle, like people are excited about her. Dude, the right-wingers hate the mayor in Seattle. Oh my God, dude, right? Dude, the right-wingers are so turned by the mayor in Seattle. They are so bent. They are, dude, they are so fucking bent. Like, it is wild to see them. And they don't even know anything about her. You know? You're only as wealthy as long as your currency is worth something. Yeah. Well, the landowners, boss. Mike Swell, just remember that in America, forget everything about currency, guys. There's two currencies in America, landowners and people. And the landowners are the ones who own both. Okay. If you own the land, you are extracting 1/3 of the wealth of at least 1/3 of your fellow human beings for life. Okay. That's what it is. The currency is human beings. And landowners are the ones who fucking are like, it's land. And they're kind of one and the same because if you own the land, you extract the wealth out of the people who live there, right? Yeah, it's brutal. It's land, guys. It is land. Land is it. It's why the fucking, you know, it is fucking, it's hard, dude. Dude. All right, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Then we got to watch this Jillian Michaels. Dude, we made goal. So we're going to watch Jillian Michaels. And then we got to go look at Candace Owens, guys. Because Candace Owens, I think, is having a little bit of a mental breakdown. We got to talk about that. Or I don't know, dude. Some shit is going down. All right, you ready? Here, enjoy a song while I go to the bathroom. Let's go. Dude, I guess I'm going 2.5 hours. I said 2 hours, but I'm going to go 30 extra minutes. All right, I'll be back in a minute.
Can I make something good out of this? You could be late, you could be true. You could be underneath my shoe. Sometimes you're the only one who's strong. Then I'll be devastated if I'm wrong. I am the one you love to hate, but you cannot devastate. It will be interesting, I'm sure, 'cause I want more. Can I make something good out of this? Can I pretend that something is missing? Chances are you will not be missed, 'cause you don't give a shit. Can I make something good out of this?
Skya! Let's go!
Could be true.
Let's go, baby! Quick, which band did I quit before the Wanteds? All right, I'll tell you. Let's go, Green Ghost. Thank you. To hate, but you cannot devastate. All right. So let me give you the thing here. I'm going to give you my band history. Okay. So my first band was called Soul Driver. And that band started in like 1993. And yeah, I think 93 is when it started. Okay. Actually, first I was in a band. Nope. I got to restart that. I was in a band in 1991. Okay. I started a band with a girl singer. Okay. A crazy girl singer in Redondo Beach who had, she had dreadlocks and she had a great voice. We were gonna kind of do a band like Hole or like the Riot Girls shit. And that was in 91. All right. And me and her, we never had a name for it though. It kind of crashed and burned after she and I had sex and things got a little flamed out, which is too bad because dude, that band would have probably been fucking great. But we fucked around and it got complicated. So then 2 years later, I started my first band with a name called Soul Driver. And it was a 4-piece band. I was just playing guitar. Okay. And we were a band for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. We played a bunch of shows. We recorded a demo. And on the day we were mixing the demo, the singer got mad at me. We got in an argument over royalties. And I was like, dude, we're not making any money because I'd been writing all the songs and he quit. All right. And so then Soul Driver became a 3-piece band with me singing and playing guitar. And so that was the official like start of the band Soul Driver. Now it was me. And my first show was at the Roxy. And it was amazing. We were even better without that singer. Okay, so Soul Driver then went from 94 until 98. Okay, and then in 98, I broke up Soul Driver and it had been a million different incarnations, right? From me alone to many people. Then in 98, I started a 3-piece band called Full Blown Red. And that's the stuff you hear, Do You Need? And that song we were just listening to, More and Stars and I'm in Love and all of that. That is Full Blown Red. And that was the band that we went on tour. I booked a tour and then we came and moved to Portland together. And then as soon as we got here, we broke up. And then Full Blown Red died here in Portland in like 2000. Okay. And then in 2000, I went solo as an acoustic act called Lavender Tommy for about a year. And I started a recording studio out of my house. And then in 2002, I started Number 3 Breakdown, which was a 2-piece band, right? I went from 4 to 3 to 2. All right. Number 3 Breakdown is Radiant and You're on Blue and Wonderful Mess. You hear those songs. That was the 2-piece band with me and a drummer. And then I quit that and I became a one-man band called the Wanteds. And that started in 2003. And then that went until my son was born. After my tours of 2005, I quit the Wanteds in like 2006. And then I went back to the Wanteds in 2007 as a 3-piece version of the band. And then we recorded the album Failure Looks So Good in 2009, I think, or 2008. And then in 2009 or 10, we played our last show after doing some more touring, and then I quit. So those were the bands: Soul Driver, Full Blown Red, Lavender Tommy, Number 3 Breakdown, The Wanteds, right? And that's it. That was the whole thing, all right? And now, right? Now we're going to fucking look here at Jillian. Watch this clip, okay? Now we heard all about Jillian's background, right? Jillian is, oh my God, dude, she's fucking anti-vaxxing. She's anti-trans. She, blew up over the slavery thing. It's not all white people, right? Then she freaked out over Anna, broke up with Anna over Israel. But now look at where she's at, guys. For the record, she is on Dave Rubin's show, okay? She went on with Dave Rubin. She went on with Rubin, the Russian propagandist, the former leftist who became a rightist, the gay right-winger, much like her, right? Who then fucking, took huge amounts of money from Russia in order to spread propaganda. But she's talking to him.
All that they do is divide and race bait and spew hatred. It's like, oh my God.
How do you really feel?
Oh God, and the thing is, I've been in both of these camps. I speak from personal experience. I've been the Marjorie Taylor Greene character in so much that like suddenly you find yourself talking to Hannity on Fox News. And you're like, wait, how did I get here? But Hannity never tried to destroy me. The right never tried to destroy me ever. And
so that's her thing. The Nazis never tried to destroy her. So she likes the Nazis. See, I need to pause there because she flipped out about the race baiting in particular. But guys, can we go for a second here to like she said the left does the race baiting, right? Dude, the left does the race baiting. Oh, 3 black teens won't be in the media, they say. Oh, there's more about the black teens, right? There's more about black murderers, right? But they're not race baiting, right? It's not the right wing that, like, on this channel, you'll only see black perpetrators. Every single thing in here is a black or Muslim person. Every piece is black or Muslim, but they're not race baiters, right? They're right. The right wing doesn't race bait, do they? Oh no. It's just literally the whole thing is one giant anti-black, anti-Muslim propaganda ad. This whole account, it's literally end wokeness. Wokeness was the fucking movement that kept black people alive during Jim Crow. And the whole account is called End Wokeness. End the thing that kept black people alive during Jim Crow. And yes, look at this. Dude, it is like the whole thing is an ad of fucking racism and like, oh my God, dude, Daniel Penny, free Derek Chauvin, they say. Right? Look at this. Here's another thing, some racist shit of saying all the traffic in Charlotte was caused by fucking undocumented people, which is bullshit, but it's all lies and fucking racism. The whole fucking thing. And yes, somebody said that Fox News is that. But let's go back and let's listen to Jillian Michaels because she says, no. This is what the Democrats do. All right, you ready? Here, I'm going to let it roll now.
All that they do is divide and race bait and spew hatred. It's like, oh my God.
How do you really feel?
Oh,
Dude.
God, And the thing is, I've been in both of these camps. I speak from personal experience. I've been the Marjorie Taylor Greene character in so much that like suddenly you find yourself talking to Hannity on Fox News. And you're like, wait, how did I get here? But Hannity never tried to destroy me. The right never tried to destroy me ever. And I went on Fox News to discuss what we had in common and then try to explain some of the things that we didn't. And subsequently, I went on CNN to try to explain some of the things that both sides have in common and some of the things that we see differently.
Oh, yeah, the thing she saw differently on CNN was that slavery wasn't really about white people. Fucking moron, bro!
And to be honest, the left is far less open to that conversation. It goes both ways. And the left is...
Yeah, the left doesn't like Nazis or slavery supporters. Right? We don't. And nor should we. I'm sorry. But if you're in a party and the Nazis are in your party, you should have a problem with that.
Never interested in bridging ideologies. They don't show up for debates. They only launch into ad hominem attacks and shout you down. My invite to Leslie Jones, my re-invite to Abby Phillip.
Dude, nobody wants to talk to you, Jillian, because you're fucking transparently full of shit. Okay? You literally started this rant with how the left wing are the race baiters. And it's like, fuck you. Okay? The entire election, we literally just had an election. The entire campaign of Winsome Earl Sears was gender baiting. Her whole campaign was like, oh my God, if Spanberger wins, they're going to cut your kids' dicks off and your daughters will never win a race again. That was her entire fucking campaign. Okay? The gender baiting is Republican, culture war Republican. The entire campaign of Republicans was Jay Jones is trying to kill your kids, right? Jack Citarella, they're going to fucking immigrants are going to cut your throat. It's like, fuck you, Jillian. Nobody wants to talk to you because you're full of shit. Full of shit.
Ashley Allison, it's all the same story. Van Jones, he was never showing up to talk to Charlie. We all know this. They just want to spew hatred. That's all they do.
I'm
sorry,
Van Jones, two days before.
Dude, they didn't want to show up and talk to Charlie. Dude, why would anyone want to talk to Charlie? Okay, she's talking about Charlie. Like, dude, Charlie Kirk was a bullshit artist. Okay, that guy, we don't even know what he really believes. Okay, that guy used scripture to weaponize misogyny, racism, and transphobia to young people and give them hats and merch and win their favor with, fucking misogynist, racist, and transphobically coded content in order to make them a huge fan of his so he could then go to evangelical billionaires and convince them that he was converting people to Christianity and building an evangelical army to help Trumpism and Project 2025. And he did it as like this lovable, affable college dropout who's really just out there to spread the Bible so everyone could be better Christians. I mean, he was a fucking con, bro, right? And so, like, nobody should have talked to Charlie Kirk. Seriously. Like, nobody should have showed up for his debates, okay? You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong. It's horrific, like, dying to political violence, which I still feel like has a lot to do with his wife and TPUSA, among other things. But that, the way he went out was horrific and definitely uncalled for. But while that man was alive, we should have never engaged with him. Okay, we should have never engaged with that because what's the end result of Charlie Kirk is now Nick Fuentes is moving into the mainstream. Charlie Kirk went and opened the gateway for Fuentes and Wright and Tate, right? If Charlie Kirk hadn't been doing that work back in 2016, maybe Andrew Tate doesn't blow up like he does. Okay? You know what I mean? Like Charlie fucking was a gateway to all that shit. And he was literally just making that money and chasing fame. okay? Because he wanted to be president and he had no education. He had no fucking right. He didn't have the education or the resume to become president or a political figure, but he saw Donald Trump do it via reality TV. So Bill Montgomery and Foster Freeze and Charlie's dad and Charlie Kirk cooked up this reality TV vehicle to fucking get Charlie out there as like a mini Trump to carry the fucking torch. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Dude, she's so clueless, though. But look at this, though. This is what it comes down to, right? She said, the right never tried to destroy me ever. But the deal is this, is I don't believe the left tried to destroy Jillian Michaels. They tried to, like, wake you up and hold you accountable for your behavior, okay? Did they try to destroy you? Did anybody make shit up about you? No. When trying to destroy you is when they're making shit up, okay? Pizzagate by one of your MAGA buddies, 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗆𝗍𝗶𝗀, that's trying to destroy people. When you make up fake child sex rings, when you're faking shit is when you're trying to destroy it. When you go on CNN and defend slavery and everyone gets mad at you and says you're a fucking moron, they're not trying to destroy you, Jillian. They're holding you accountable. But you don't want to be held accountable. You want to be able to be as rotten as you want and have people still kumbaya with you, which is why you had to switch over to the party that harbors Nazis and Nick Fuentes and fucking, evangelical, transphobic, pieces of crap like Charlie Kirk and his wife. Okay? That's why you moved over there, right? Like, come on, man. Come on. Come on. Dude, again, the Karening. Dude, it's like a Karen blowout. All right, you ready? We got one more, guys. All right, we got one more. We got to go to Candy O, dude. Dude, what is going on with Candy O? Dude, Candy. Did you see this? Okay, so she did a pivot, guys. All right, so look at what goes on. Okay, you ready? I want to give you some background before we get to this. Let me give you the Candy O pivot because I want to give you a little timeline. Okay, we know we've seen Candy O. We love her. She's burning down MAGA. I want candy, burn down MAGA. I want candy, burn down MAGA. All right, so look at the timeline, guys. Charlie dies. She creates the conspiracy theories. She flames them. She burns down Trump. She burns down MAGA. She burns down everyone but Tucker Carlson. She goes to war with Erica Kirk, Teep USA. And we're like, Candy, we love you. More of that. Here's some gasoline. Go, Candy. Burn, Candy, burn. Okay? Love it. But then what happened is one of the things that she has been lacking has been like hard evidence. She doesn't really have hard evidence. She did get the fucking, right, the #1 podcast. She has this captive audience. She has spurned 1,000 conspiracy theories, but she hasn't had any hard evidence. There's no smoking gun. She doesn't really have any hard proof. Her proof is just look at what Teep USA and Erica Kirk aren't doing. Now, there's a lot of suspicion here, and some of it is reasonable. Right? With the Netanyahu all of a sudden becoming Charlie Kirk's biggest fan, there's a lot of suspicion. But then that CNN interview dropped, guys, right? Last week, I made a video about that clip. Remember the CNN interview where Reeve said, hey, what's your evidence? Oh, is this a hunch? Like, why wouldn't you present the evidence if I had hard evidence of like, a conspiracy and the FBI was lying? That would be a huge fucking story. And Candace sort of said, hey, this is bullshit, right? They're misrepresenting blah, blah, blah. But it was the first hitch where she had an opportunity to show some of her evidence and she just didn't have any evidence, okay? Right? Then there was that little snafu the other day where somebody sent in a tip that got vetted and the address was her attorney. And we did a little looking. We looked at it, And there was like, maybe an FBI office in the building across the street. We're not sure. But remember, the whole internet was like, aha, Candace, she just got had by these people. So she has had some, people questioning the veracity of her journalism. Okay, very much laughed at. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because how did she respond to being laughed at and to being, like, wow, Candace is making all this shit up and she doesn't have any proof? Guys, she's upped the stakes. She's literally just upped the stakes because now she has come forward with a French conspiracy. The French people are trying to kill her. Okay? She's upped it. No, she's not a journalist. She's like she's a journalist in the fucking reality TV star version of citizen journalism, right? But I don't think she's a journalist, but she does journalism, but she's not a journalist. She does political commentary, whatever. But so the thing though is so now, guys, she's upped the stakes. Okay, she responded to her embarrassment with like, wow, now there's an international conspiracy. She's also being sued by Macron's wife, okay, for all her fucking crazy shit, right? She's being sued and she's facing some pretty crazy fucking consequences possibly. So now, guys, she's one-upped it. And now she's created a conspiracy higher than Charlie Kirk and TPUSA. She's elevated it to the French fucking government and with a minor like implication of Israel via the French government, so she can still include Netanyahu in this thing. But guys, she's like going way out now. Now she's like, oh, you're laughing at me. Now they're trying to kill me. And guys, I don't know what's coming next. But let's read this fucking tweet because this tweet is insane. Look at this. 36 million views. Okay, 36 million. Okay, and she specifically in here says, you need to retweet this to help me win. So like, dude, this is crazy, guys. This is crazy. But guys, this is like a classic escalation. And doesn't this remind you of Donald Trump? This is Donald Trump escalation right here, guys. Candace Owens, Candy O is the closest thing to a Donald Trump replacement that we have right now. I'm telling you, she's using his playbook of like, double down, and as soon as you get embarrassed and proven wrong, create a even bigger story, an even crazier lie, and then fucking, try and co-opt all your insane 4chan people into the net and get them to do the work for you. But dude, let's listen to this tweet. Mind you, this tweet is just days after 𝗟𝗡 and that fake informant on her show just like kind of destroyed her credibility or challenged her credibility. She says, urgent. 2 days ago, I was contacted by a high-ranking employee of the French government. Okay, it's always the anonymous high-ranking, right? What did she say the other day? Oh, I vetted this to the highest levels of the government, right? In the building that belonged to her lawyer. After determining this person's position and proximity to the French couple, I have deemed the information they gave me to be credible enough to share publicly in the event that something happens. Now, she said French couple. She doesn't name them outright, which again, the French couple, guys, that's another way of her being able to sort of weasel out of this should she come to a lawsuit. She didn't name the couple, okay? Again, a tactic, a very smooth tactic, okay? All right. So she says that this person has proximity to the French couple and their information, right, is credible enough that I'm going to share it with you in case I get killed, okay? In short, this person claims that the Macrons have executed upon and paid for my assassination. So I guess she outs him there, right? But fucking the Macrons, but she doesn't specifically, right? I mean, it is the Macrons, right? But it's like, I don't know, dude. She's playing with words, right? But this, right? She says the French couple, but this person claims the Macrons. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Like, do you see the subtle difference there? Right? How when she was talking about the person, when she talks about them, they're the French couple, which could ostensibly be anyone, but she said the person claims that the Macrons. She uses the Macrons when she's talking about the person. Remember Megyn Kelly the other day who said, my friend said Jeffrey Epstein is not a pedophile, right? You see in the same fucking game here that we're doing. This is a game that if you talk to a lawyer before you make content, these are the types of choices you would make. Okay, this person claims the Macrons have executed upon and paid for my assassination. Yes, you read that correctly. More specifically, that the green light was given to a small team in National Gendarmerie Intervention Group. Okay, I am told there is one Israeli that is on this assassination squad and plans were formalized. Again, this person provided concrete proof that they are well placed within the French government apparatus. Further to this point, this person claims that Charlie Kirk's assassin trained with the French Legion 13th Brigade with multi-state involvement. Journalist Xavier Poussard's life is also at risk. This is deadly serious. The head of state of France apparently wants us both dead and has authorized professional units to carry this out. I ask that every person retweet and share this. Okay? Now, right? You see this? Dude, she's like, I have an anonymous source, right? I've just been embarrassed because I have no proof of the shit I say. But now I have a high-ranking anonymous source in the French thing that can help me get some fodder for my lawsuit and maybe protect me. And I'm going to tie it to Israel and Charlie Kirk. So now, even though I don't have the hard proof before, I don't have hard proof because this is so much bigger than we thought. And what I really need from you guys is I need you to retweet me and give me as much exposure as possible with this story. Right? Dude, what the fuck? And I also, you should probably come and watch my stream, my live stream, and give me some money to help keep me alive, right? You know, come on, right? Dude, she's up in the ante, guys. This is like escalation in screenwriting, right? In screenwriting, guys, this is upping the escalation, okay? You know what this is in screenwriting, guys? It's like moving her to a point of no return. Remember Luke Skywalker? He meets Ben Kenobi and they start telling him that you're set for greatness. You should come with us and save the world. And then they come back and all of a sudden his Uncle Owen has been burned to the ground. Everybody's dead. Now you have nothing to stay for. Hop in the Millennium Falcon. Now we're going to go save the world. It's a classic fucking escalation to incentivize the next leg of the journey, dude. Dude, where now there's no turning back. You got to get all in with me. I'm turning it into an international conspiracy that is now tied to my lawsuit, right? Dude, the hero's journey, I know, but like, dude, this is like bad screenwriting, bro. It's a fucking soap opera. All right, but I ask that every person retweet and share this. I do not know who in the American government can be trusted, since this source claims our leaders are aware. So now she has every we don't know. Anybody who speaks out about this is potentially untrustworthy and part of this international conspiracy. But I have more specific information, which is definitively verifiable should they care to reach out to me. To the brave official in France who did this because they were so moved by the evil of Charlie's public execution to risk their own life, may God bless you truly. Let all be revealed. Okay? And now people are coming in saying what Candace just revealed is a full-scale 9/11 level emergency for her personal safety, right? This is a full-blown assassination threat. Anyone with a beating heart should understand it. Here's the life-altering deadly pattern, okay? And there's like, you know, some death threat she got, but I mean, everybody gets death threats, right? 1 year before they murdered Charlie, they tried to murder me, she says, right? We have lost this country. Now it's like a greater thing. And of course, everyone's like, you know, where's your evidence? Like, what's your evidence other than a tweet, right? Yeah, the source is, trust me, bro, I have it, but I can't reveal it, right? She can't reveal the TPUSA shit. She can't reveal the fucking, you know, now the French shit, everything, right? You know what I'm saying? But everybody's piling in here. If you have proof, hire a private investigator in security. If you don't have proof, hire a therapist. Dude, that's funny. Dude, this chick is fucking crazy, dude. This, like, 𝗙𝗍𝗆, dude, from Baltimore. Dude, she is all these right-wingers, guys, are fucking nuts, okay? You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, here's the thing, guys. You know what I mean? Like the reality is like, dude, if a government wanted you killed, I kind of think you'd be dead. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Dude, look at this. Candace, I hope you read this. In 72, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a U.S. military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security prison. Today, still wanted men. They survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, no one else can help. The 18. Dude, she's reaching out. Dude, oh my God, I used to watch that show. Oh, that's hilarious. Dude, isn't that funny? Bro. Dude, the internet just kills me sometimes. Right? But look at this, dude. All these weirdos. Dude, all these people have blocked me for the most part. Right? Over the target. All these crazy right-wingers. Dude. Like, but here's the problem. Is you know, she's getting some of these crazy right wingers to support her, but the problem is like, dude, where's the proof? You know what I mean? Like, think about this, okay? Think about this, guys. If your life is on the line and you have verifiable proof that like somebody's trying to kill you, and you have verifiable proof of this Charlie Kirk conspiracy shit, you're not going to bring it out an hour a day on your podcast over the course of 3 months, right? You're just going to fucking, you know what I'm saying? You are going to fucking bring in your guns and get some arrests. You know, you're going to build a case. You're not going to be tweeting about it, right? Like, I now have proof that Macrons are trying to kill me. So now that I've tweeted about this and it's got 36 million views, now the Macrons can just go and cover all their tracks, right? Like, oh, nice of you to alert the Macrons and that French hit squad that were trying to kill you. So now they can go cover up their existence. Like, good job, Candy. Candy, oh, you did a good job, right? If I think they're about to fucking break into my shit, I go out and announce, hey, I think these guys are about to break into my shit. You know? Dude, the Macrons just care about the lawsuit, right? But like, yeah, you're blowing your cover. Like, really? You've got the fucking juice to bring down the Macrons, and now you've just lost it. But please, guys, this was when I lost it, dude, right here. I asked that every person retweet and share this, dude. Retweet this, right? Because my life depends on this retweet. Bro, what are we doing? Like, bro, what are we doing? You know? Like, we are so cooked. All right? Isn't that funny? Dude, but guys, this is a strategy. This is a strategy. This is an absolute escalation strategy. Don't think the Macrons even think about her? Yeah, I don't think the Macrons think about her at all. Their lawyers are probably sicking into that shit, right? The Macrons are like, dude, just go fucking destroy this woman and extract retribution on her for being a fucking degenerate under the full force of the law. And the lawyers are like, yes, sir. Right? Dude, this is crazy. I mean, guys, we're getting thick, right? And of course, it's coming from the woman who has Candace Intelligence Agency, right? CIA hats, you know, but dude, she is batshit. And here's her, she followed it up. Okay, she followed it up with, I've informed people in the federal government and the White House of the France and Israeli assassination plot, and am willing to provide full details, as well as the name of the assassins and international accounts in France and Canada through which money was exchanged. Beyond that, I've shared more information with the public regarding the Bridget story I was investigating at the time of Charlie's assassination. This is all available on my Instagram stories, aka go to my social media. Thanks for reaching out and praying for my family. Dude, look at this. I love this. Richard Engwin, he does some great fucking analysis. Candace went from Bridget Macron is a man to France and Israel just tried to assassinate me in record time. Dude, conspiracy bingo champion. Dude, Kanye, dude, she's got so much Kanye in her. Like, bro, she is crazy. All right? Dude, what are we doing, boss? Okay? We are like, dude, we're just entering, you know what I mean? And you know what's crazy about this though, guys? Is we're entering a world, okay? And look at what her thing is. Look at her thing here. It's not a coincidence that the French legionnaires were in the United States training with our Marines for 3 weeks. When those 3 weeks ended in California, another military training exercise began alongside civilians at Camp Riley in Minnesota. French foreign legionnaires were involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination now, she says. They were not the only ones, but they were involved. But look at her proof. It's an AI screenshot. She's like asking the AI something and screenshotting an AI overview, guys. Dude, I had an AI overview the other day tell me that, like, I have AI overviews tell me some crazy shit. I had an AI overview. What was the one that was so insane, right? Oh my God, there was an AI overview that told me, what did it tell me that was like verifiably false? I had one tell me something like Donald Trump has never lied or some shit, has never told a lie. I mean, dude, this shit was like crazy. Or it was telling me that somebody wasn't dead, right? Oh, what was it? Oh my God, I literally just had an AI battle that was like, where it was telling me something. Oh, what was it? It was, oh, dude, I got to remember it. It was telling me something that was so verifiably, oh, it told me that Biden didn't have cancer. That's what it did. It said, here, maybe we can replicate it. That's what it was. Okay. I went into AI mode. Oh, now it says yes. Okay. So it is updated. But so this, I got into an argument with AI where it told me that Joe Biden did not have cancer. Okay. This was literally 3 weeks ago where I was arguing with the AI, where I was talking about cancer. It started because I was like making a thumbnail about Donald Trump's health, and ChatGPT tried to undercut me and prevent me from fucking, like, it was arguing with me about like saying I was delivering propaganda. And I was like, fuck you. Like, Trump has some health issues. Joe Biden had fucking cancer. And it said, no, Joe Biden didn't have cancer. And then I got on the AI and I was like, to prove it to ChatGPT, I went on to fucking Google's AI and said, show me the proof that Joe Biden has cancer, and the AI said Joe Biden is no media outlet has documented that Joe Biden had cancer. This was literally 3 weeks ago. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on, bro? You know what I'm saying? It was some crazy shit, and it does this shit all the time. I wonder if I saved a screenshot of it. Hold on. Oh, I didn't. Dude, I should have screenshot it. Wait, does it save my fucking AI? Dude, yeah, no, ChatGPT is being programmed with like Trump protectivity. All right, let me see if I can find these. Oh, I don't know where it stores them. Oh, I see. Oh, I got it. Here we go. Dude, it's got to be in here. Hold on, I'm going to find it. Give me a minute. Dude, why am I not fucking seeing this shit? Did it go back and delete it because it was fucking incorrect or something? I mean, there's a ton of fucking searches. But dude, it literally argued with me about Joe Biden having cancer and fucking told me that Joe Biden didn't have cancer. It was so crazy, bro. That's her proof though, guys. Dude, I guess it fucking deleted it, boss. Dude, I mean, this shit, guys, this shit is just so unreliable, okay? AI is one of the most unreliable fucking things. Like, guys, you know what's been happening to me a lot lately? Particularly with ChatGPT 5.1, okay? With ChatGPT 5.1 in particular, I have noticed a thing where I will make a query of the AI, and the AI will suggest something, and then I will say, no, not that. What about this? And the AI will say, no, that's a really bad idea. And then I'll say, well, then the AI will suggest something like this, and I'll say, no, I don't really like that. I'm thinking more in this vein. I'll suggest something, and the AI says, no, that won't work for this reason. And then the AI will suggest the very first thing I suggested to the AI that it had told me was not a useful thought. It's literally starting to do this, where it will sort of like refute suggestions with its data, and then later on it will give your very first or early idea back to you and say, no, I think this is really the good thing. And I'm like, I literally will be like, you dumb motherfucker. Like, I literally said that like 15 minutes ago. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, it is like, dude, I know, dude, there's shit going on. I've read about that. Just some. I've read about it, Internet Chick, about the AI psychosis, where I could see how people can get wrapped into it, because it's like and every month or something, it like changes the way it interacts, right? Where it's fucking, you know what I'm saying? That's all it can do, right? Tell you what you put into it. Yeah, but so the thing is, though, guys, the problem is the gaslighting. Okay, the problem is the gaslighting. Okay, is what happens is AI will argue from a point of as though they have data when they don't have data. Okay, that's the thing. Like an AI, if you have AI analyze something, it will respond back to you with this complete analysis, but it doesn't have any data to back that up, or it extracts data from something completely unrelated to fucking YouTube or to, you know, sports or to whatever, right? It can cull factual data from like internet crawls, like shit you'd find in a Google search, but other than that, it doesn't actually have any data. But it presents its opinions as though they are all formed with data that is beyond the data you have, right? And so it presents it as though it has an authority when in fact, oftentimes it doesn't have any authority. It is literally just throwing shit out in the dark. And ultimately what it's going to do is it's going to spit your own information back at you as though it has data to back it up, right? It is like, you know what I mean? It's literally just like a bullshit artist is what it is. It's a bullshit artist that is trying to just extract information out of you, right? When you use it, it's just trying to learn how you think, right? And that's it. But it's letting you, trying to make you believe it's giving you information that fucking, you know, like I use it to generate ideas, and I use it to generate like title ideas or angles, or I'll use it to analyze transcripts to find like the core of my video so I can title it. But what's crazy about it is 9 times out of 10, like my title is head and shoulders above the shit the AI says, well, this will perform on YouTube. It doesn't know what it's fucking talking about, but it will generate a whole bunch of words. And so sometimes seeing 50 different titles triggers an idea for me. It'll use one word that I'm like, oh, that's a good word to center it. But it always presents information like it's the expert. So the problem with AI, and what Internet Chick was talking about, I think with AI psychosis, is this. The problem with AI is if you, right? The problem with AI is if you are trying to, right? The problem with AI is if you are trying to, if you are looking for answers, okay, and you are looking for an authority, okay, AI is going to be very destructive to you, right? If you're looking for an authority to guide you, like AI will simply, like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, it's like, it's gnarly, dude. It's gnarly shit, boss. Right? I think the only thing it's really good is it's good at it. The only thing it's really good at, guys, is it's good at fucking at summarizing. Okay? It's good at summarizing is what it is good at. If you feed it a transcript, it will boil down, well, here are the 4 main points, right? It's a great like cliff note creator, right? But if you ask it like specific questions about the thing after it summarizes it, it'll just make shit up. It'll often just say lines. It will quote lines that are not in the shit. Okay? It will literally make up quotes that are absolutely not in the text. You can send it a piece of text and say, what's the most important quote in this text? And it will just make something up. Right? Dude, it's fucked up. All right. You ready? Let's go. All right, I gotta go make videos, guys. It's time for me to jet. I'm going to the beach. Again, there's gonna be no stream tomorrow. There will be no stream on Tuesday. There will be no stream on Wednesday. There maybe will be a stream on one of those days. Maybe. I'm taking some gear. If the internet is good, I might do a stream. I will be putting out videos at the beach. I'm going to be putting out some short form content. I will be putting out long form videos. So you can always, in the absence of the stream, you can watch old streams or watch the shit out of the long form videos. All right, no, the dance party's happening now. This is our annual trip. Jenny and I, every Thanksgiving, we go to the beach. Every end of May, we go to the beach. All right. All right, let's go, baby. Yeah, guys, I'm kind of weaning myself off of AI. I am, dude. I'm weaning myself off of it. Right? It's fucking, I mean, it's helpful, but I don't, right? You know what I'm saying? No shorts tonight. No, I was feeling kind of cold. Dude, we went to a movie tonight and the theater was like super cold. Right? Oh. I mean, it's good for shit. You know what it's good for, guys? It's good for shit you don't want to take the time to do, right? You know what I mean? Like, if you're making a YouTube video and you want a description that's filled with SEO keywords, you don't want to spend 30 minutes doing it because you want to spend that time making a thumbnail. It's great to throw a transcript and write something with rich SEO. You know what I mean? I mean, it's good for shit like that, for useless tasks, right? Give me the cliff notes on this thing. Tell me the differences between these two contracts. What's the difference, right? Yeah, basic information. It's not good at being creative. It's not good at, like talking to it like a human being where you're brainstorming real plans. Because at the end of the day, guys, the problem is it's never speaking from personal experience. The AI has no personal experience, guys. It has a bunch of non-contextual data, okay? And that data is crisscrossing. So you can ask it for, about paintings, and it may be responding because of data it has on football, okay? And that's just it. It has no context, okay? It has no personal experience. It just grabs from wherever and then presents itself like an authority. Super dangerous tool. Yeah, like getting personal, like, oh my God. When I found out people are sharing personal information, like, are you shitting me? Like, dude, like, really? Right? Really? Like, no way, bro. Like, you're telling it your, like, life story and shit and asking it to help you, like, solve your friendship problems. Like, please don't do that, Dude, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God. All right, it's dance time, baby. Let's go. Let's get it. Oh, it's time for a little deja vu. Oh, get stretched. All right. I'm a little tired tonight, guys, so this one may not be as spirited as they have been in the past, but we're gonna see what we can do. All right, you ready? You ready? Are you ready? I am ready. Let's get it. Let's get it. Oh. Dude, you like that? It's the way we go, baby. You gotta groove out. I do love to dance. Dude, I'm so glad you guys are here. Seriously. I didn't know what I'd do without you guys. Like, it's nice to have a tribe of people to survive this fucking bullshit with. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, the Trump energy and you know, the fucking Trump energy is just crazy. We saw Now You See Me or whatever. And I mean, it was stupid, but it was, you know, entertaining. But dude, yeah, we have the Regal Unlimited, so we just kind of go see everything. Right? The good and the bad. But it was entertaining. But yeah, dude, it's like all the chaos, man. All the like negative energy and the flooding the zone of all their toxicity and their bullshit is like hard, man. And it's nice to have a group of people. Like, it seems like every night it's like I'm seeing the same people. We're all kind of in this together. and you know what I mean? Oh my God, you signed up right before COVID. That's brutal, right? Dude, you know? And it is kind of like what I had noticed, guys, that I hadn't really noticed before, but now I distinctly notice it, is that the culture shifts to the presidency. So if there's a Republican president, they'll start making like movies about angels and Jesus, and they'll incorporate shit that like the culture shifts to whoever's in political power. So so with Trump being in power, we're getting certain types of media that are fucking flooding, and the companies sort of lean towards that shit until power swings the other way. And it's all bullshit. But I'm gonna go make some videos. Remember, at the end, baby, it's about one thing. It's the fact that I love freedom. I'll see you tomorrow. I won't see you tomorrow. I will see you on Thursday. I'll see you on Thursday. And maybe I'll see you during one of these days, because I'll be at the beach, all right? Sorry. And you always will. I love you guys. I'll see you soon, though. Have a good couple days.
Misdirection, you know I'm through with you. Your hoops are my obsessions, always jumping through. I'm so tangled, I'm so worthy. I'm just lost in my reflection. Pay attention.